Hey everybody, what's going on?
Yeah, what are we talking about today?
I don't know.
Okay, I put a little bit of.
Don't put all this pressure on me.
What the hell was that?
This light back here, I don't know why, but it's like I have this light back here, and it keeps like changing color every now and then. Like I can't really figure out why.
I'll figure it out.
It's weird.
I'll figure it out later. I kind of like that color that it just did.
Yeah. Do you think I could figure out how to like do that on purpose? No.
That RGB is fucking up.
I think it was because I backed up and maybe I ran into the table, but it's like it's not changing. Well, I don't know, but it's like not changing like at a normal, because I know it has like a setting where it goes bing, 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 but it's just like every now and then it'll just like change colors just for shits and giggles. Okay. It's like super weird.
It's a random color each time?
No, it goes back and forth from this to like more of a reddish.
Okay.
Like more like that.
Okay.
It's just going back and forth from two things. I don't get it. I never have been able to figure these lights out, to be honest with you.
Yeah, there's controls on the back of them.
Well, I know there are, but... Yeah. And I even know how RGB works because I'm a graphic designer, but I still can't figure out, like, which button does what. Or, like, how to get it to fucking work.
What was I going to say?
I don't know what you were...
something.
I don't know what you were going to say.
Oh, I was saying that there was... in that is a little bit of peach vodka.
Okay. Well, yeah, because we only had a tiny little bit.
Yeah, so I just kind of diluted a little bit.
I drank a little bit of it last night because I was trying to like finish it up. It's good like I didn't want to drink all of it. Put it on last night while I was watching Hell's Kitchen.
Lemonade, peach, and whipped cream vodka.
Yeah, it's good. I mean, honestly, like last night, like I said, I was trying to use up the peach vodka, so I just put some peach vodka in there and a little bit of lemonade, and that was good too.
Yeah.
It's not as good as the whipped cream.
Yeah.
But it's still pretty good.
Willow's there. What's up, Willow?
Said hello, Jenny, Tom, and Pooky.
Yeah.
Pooky's still back there, right?
She's right there.
Yeah, where'd she go?
She's right there playing with a toy.
She's back there, but...
Yeah, she's picking up a little toy mouse, hitting it. It's getting away, Pook. Get it. Yeah.
She's so funny with those masks. She knows they're not real, but it's like I think she likes to pretend because she just like sits there and then like she looks at it like that,
pretending that they're real. Is it gonna move?
A long time.
Yeah, is it gonna move?
And then she's like, "Fuck it," and then she just jumps on it anyway.
Yeah.
Willow said, "I can't see her." Yeah, she's.
Well, we can't really move the camera. We'll never really get it back.
She's behind the chair. If I move the chair, can you see her? Maybe. I'd have to move the chair like way.
Yeah, there she is.
There she is. There she is.
There she is. Yeah.
She's like, "What are you doing, Mommy?
Yeah.
Are you running over my babies?"
I'm
not running over your babies. I don't think. Am I? She's like, I don't like this. Not one bit. Yeah.
She's like, "What are you doing?"
She's like looking at me in the chair. Yeah. I got too close to her other babies, like when I slid the chair, but I didn't hit any.
Yeah, she's checking on them. Isn't that funny? Did you run any of these over?
Did you hurt my babies, Mommy?
She thought you ran them over.
I didn't.
Yeah.
I didn't.
She's going there checking them.
I didn't even get close to the baby.
She's like, you ran them over.
I didn't.
Yeah.
I promise. Okay. I would never do such a thing. You're so cute, Pooky.
She's making sure they're all accounted for and that none of them are squished. She's got a whole pile of little toys. Little dolls and stuffed animals.
Her little toy pile.
Yeah.
Oh my god. And then, she just went over there. Okay, I thought she was going to do like the whole BRUSH situation again.
Yeah.
But I told her earlier that she needed to go to Brushies Anonymous.
Yeah.
Because she loved it so much.
We're not going out tonight.
No.
I'm just going to sit here and entertain y'all. And everybody's showing up. Oscar's in there. Jeffrey Art showing up.
Jeffy Art,
yeah.
You actually have your glasses today, so you can like see.
Yeah, Hugo's in.
Yeah, we're not. I figured we probably weren't.
What the hell?
That was a notification on my phone, which could be any number of things. Could be a text, could be a YouTube comment, could be I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is. It just makes that noise every now and then. I'm just like whatever. But yeah. So what was I gonna say? Oh yeah, I kind of feel like we probably should stay in this weekend because next weekend, as I said, is Halloween, and so we have to figure out. We have to figure. These are the problems that we have. We have to figure out like which Halloween party we want to hit, because I don't think I can afford to go to both of them.
Yeah.
You know.
I can't. I was looking at a Bane costume.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know the.
You already have some of the stuff for that, right?
Yeah, for one of them, I have the Bane luchador outfit.
That's why I thought that you had
from the
worn
comic
that.
books.
Yeah, I thought you had worn that.
But I was looking at the movie one from Batman. What was it? What's his name? Tom Hardy's version. You know, with the mask and the vest and the pants, and I have a lot of that. I have pants that would work, and boots definitely that would work.
Yeah, you can pull that off.
It would be close to, it'd probably be close to $200, and I can't fork that out in such a short period of time. I'd have to build that up for next year. I got the arms for it, and bald head. See, you got to be bald and you got to be jacked to fucking wear that costume, or it's gonna look fucking goofy.
I'm trying to think of like what else you could be.
I'll probably just go as fucking the other Bane. I'll probably go as the damn comic book Bane.
Yeah, I mean, you could.
The luchador for the fucking the Danny Trejo.
Yeah, because like I said,
Danny
you already
Trejo
have the
Bane.
stuff for that.
Yeah.
I got a few things for mine, but I think mine's gonna be cool. I think. I hope I'm gonna have to do like a rehearsal like before I actually go to the party in it, because I don't want to fuck it up. And I got everything except. Well, there's two things that are still coming, but if those two things don't come, I can still do the costume without that. Like, I got all the main stuff. Like, it would be nice to have, like, these two little minor things, but if they don't show up, then I can still pull it off without that.
Yeah.
Oscar said the new VHS 99 movie came out on Shudder yesterday. Yeah, I saw that. I think what I'm going to do probably on, because I have a bunch of reviews I wanted to do like going up to Halloween, but I think what I'm going to do probably for the Scare Salon site is maybe the first week in November, I'm going to do a video about all the VHS movies. Like I'm going to watch, because I've seen all of them but I haven't seen the new one yet. So I think So maybe like first week in November, I'm planning on doing that. I'm just gonna like watch all the VHS movies and do a video about that. So it is coming. But because I went on Shudder yesterday because I was watching the 101 Scariest Movie Moments thing. They put a new episode up yesterday, so I watched that last night. Yeah, Oscar said, "Heck yeah, that would be superb." Yeah, I know that that you and a couple other people had asked me about that. So, and I do really like the VHS movies, so I'll get Tom to watch them. He will dig them. Yeah, he probably would.
Dig what?
The VHS movies. They're like anthology horror movies. There's a bunch of them. Well, not a bunch.
I think I've seen the first one. That was a long time ago, right? Didn't the first one come out a long time ago?
I can't remember what year the first one came. No, it wasn't that long ago. I don't think. Was it? Now I can't remember either. I watched VHS 94 like when it first came out, and I really like that, but the new one's 99 and that one's out. But maybe this is the fourth one, right? Wasn't there VHS 2, VHS 94, or was there another one in between? I can't even remember. I'm trying to I should probably check how many movies it is before I commit to doing a video about it. If I gotta have time to watch all these, because it happens. You know how when I first started on my Scare Salon site, I was like, oh, I'm gonna do the whole that Boris Karloff series Thriller. And I was thinking that it wasn't on TV for that long, or it only had a few episodes. And then I was like, oh, I'm going to do a video talking about that series. And then I realized that it had fucking 40 goddamn episodes, and they're an hour long each. And I was just like, oh, Jesus Christ, I can't fucking. So I started doing them in 6 episode chunks. So I just finished watching the next 6 episodes today, and wrote a thing and did a video for that. So that's going up tomorrow. But oh yeah, Viral. That's another one that's one that I forgot. So there's 5 movies. Okay, so that's not too bad. I forgot about VHS Viral, and I don't think I've seen that one. I saw the first 2. I saw 94, but I don't think I saw Viral, and I haven't watched 99 yet.
I made a good fucking what do you call it? Original dish today. I call that shit. Well, what would I call that?
I don't know. What did you call it?
I think I'd call that chicken white trash supreme. Chicken cream supreme. I don't know. It was.
Did you put cream of mushroom soup in it, or cream of chicken soup in it? I didn't think you had.
No soup in it.
That's what I thought. I don't even think.
I had a bunch of boneless chicken thighs. So I chopped them up, cubed them. I put them in a pan of hot oil and browned them real quick. Then I put in diced onions, cooked those, And then I had 2 green peppers from the garden. Put those in there. And then I poured a big can of Rotel in there, juice and everything. All right, on top of that. And then I put a big old chunk of fucking Velveeta cheese in there. And 2 cups of milk.
Velveeta cheese.
The Velveeta cheese. Cheese like product. And then a teaspoon of chicken bouillon. Put that in it. And then simmered it down until it got thick. And served it over rice, white rice. It was good. Real good.
It was very good.
Real easy to make.
I'm going to have some more tonight later.
Yeah, we got a lot of it. It's real easy to make, and it was just like a good comfort dish. I was going to make like a Thai curry with it or some kind of Indian curry. It's like, man, I want American flavors. I just put fucking cheese.
Well, to be fair, we have been making
Rotel.
a lot of curries lately.
Yeah, too much curry.
Not that there's anything wrong with that, because I love curry. Both Indian curry and Thai curry.
I just wanted something more savory and creamy and mild, you know? So I went
something
that
white
way.
Trashy.
White trash. White trash cream supreme.
It was very good.
Yeah.
Like I said, I'm going to have some more of that later.
Yeah, it was good. And just put it next, take a bowl of white rice, put that on half the bowl as rice, and then just ladle in some of that cheesy chicken, man. With Rotel in it, which is tomatoes and green chilies, green peppers and onions.
Yeah, it's good.
Yeah. And that Velveeta, people think that that's bad for you. That's very good for you. It's all whey protein. It's basically the same thing bodybuilders drink, you know, like the protein drinks. It's that same thing. If you look at the nutrition, it's good. It's low in calorie, real high in protein. Doesn't have that much fat in it either. It's just whey protein. So it's good for you.
Camp Guy said, I may bail to watch the first Terrifier movie with the wife. She said people are fainting and needing medical attention at the theaters opening the second one. I said publicity stunt. Yeah, I was reading an article yesterday about that. I kind of feel that way too, because I'm like, look, I don't know, unless like people that aren't really into horror or have heart conditions or something like that are going to the movie, I can't imagine anything that would be in a movie that would make me pass out. That would be in a movie. You know what I mean? It's fake. And from everything I've heard, I haven't seen Terrifier 2 yet, but I do want to see it because I really did like the first one. But it just mostly looks like really, really super bloody and gory, and it's like that does not bother me at all. Like if something's in a movie that's going to bother me, it's going to be poop.
Yeah.
It's going to be poop related. You know what I mean? Like it's going to be like some shit like Human Centipede or something like that when I think about like somebody pooping in somebody's mouth. And honestly, that's not going to make me faint. It's just going to make me like gag forever. You know what I mean? And not want to watch it. That and like, you know, and like shit like Audition with like people drinking vomit and like shit like that kind of stuff grosses me out. Like you could put blood in there all day long and that doesn't bother me at all.
Danny's talking about putting the yellow stuff from like the venom going into Bane's mask. If you guys don't know the character, he's basically being loaded up with basically steroids to fucking help him deal with like pain and make him stronger. I think in the comic books he stole some technology from Batman and made him stronger. The thing is on that mask, the details aren't. It doesn't really stand out. I really need the venom apparatus for my Mexican Bane luchador costume. Okay, because there's a Mexican Bane too. Jay Trejo did the voice for it in the animated version, and I think that one he had venom also, but it was in a canister on his back, and he had damn glowing lines going down his arm where it would go into his veins, and he could hit a button and he'd inject himself like that, and he'd just get huge. His whole upper body'd blow up. Looked like he'd weigh fucking 600 pounds. They never explained where the mass came from. You have to eat to get that big, but he would just get huge, you know, and then just start fighting. He had that damn stretchy wrestler outfit on.
Ben says, have you watched All Hallows Eve? That's Terrifier 0. Yeah, I have seen that. I watched that probably 2 or 3 Halloweens ago, and that is also very good. I've actually seen. I don't remember if we reviewed it. I thought we had. Jeffy Art said, I remember Bravo airing 100 Scariest Movies in 2004. Yeah, I watched that. And I actually watched it again like a year or two ago, like on YouTube. This is a similar thing, but it's like updated. So Shudder is doing it, and they're doing, they put up an episode, I think every Wednesday, but I think there's only one more. Because the one that I saw last night was like all the way up to like 12 or something like that, and then it's going to be like down 12 to like 1. But yeah, it's a good show. They got like Joe Bob Briggs on there. It's like it's super fun. They got everybody on there. They got Greg Nicotero. Oh, and something that I saw on the thing last night, in case anybody ever wondered, you know, in The Omen, when David Warner gets his head cut off with the pane of glass, that severed head, Greg Nicotero has it. He loves that movie so much that he bought it. So he like has it. There was like a picture of him with it. And I thought it was funny because they were like, it's because they were talking about The Omen. And he's like, yeah, if anybody ever asks you what happened to David Warner's severed head from The Omen, I got it. So I was like, I thought that was like super funny. Let's see. I'm kind of way behind. Yeah, American Horror Story. I kind of like, I watched some of it and it seemed cool, but yeah, I've heard that like the seasons are very hit or miss. And it's just like, I feel like, man, there's just so much stuff I gotta watch, and it's just kind of like fucking, I just got so behind on everything. You know what I mean? How much was the Krussell wine? Okay, now here's the thing. Apparently, I mean, at least the ABC liquor around here does not have it. And I looked on the website for it, and every single variety of it was sold out except for one kind, and that bottle was $75. And I'm like, no wine can be that good. I'm sorry. It just can't.
What's it called?
I don't remember.
It's not called Krussell. It's not called Krussell. That'd be hilarious.
How fucking funny would it be if it was?
Hilarious.
No, it's called Go Gi or Goji. Gogi, which I'm assuming is Goldie, like Geo for Goldie and GI for. Do they have a daughter or a son or something that they're naming it after? That's kind of the first thing, and I could be totally pulling it out my ass. But
you're pulling that out your ass.
No, I'm just saying that's kind of like that's the first thing I thought of.
I think it would be awesome if fucking all Kurt Russell merchandise was now just called Krussell, and then he started calling himself Krussell, and it becomes like a brand. I'd have to sue his ass. It'd be funny.
You'd have to sue his ass.
I'd make my money the honest way, you know.
Yeah, Oscar said, Jeffy already used to love the Bravo's 100 Scariest Movie Moments. I did too. Like I said, I've seen it multiple times. I hear this new one on Shudder is even better. I really do like the one on Shudder. It's very, very entertaining. And it's cool because they don't... I mean, the Bravo one, they were mostly just focused very much on one scene. Whereas, like, the Shudder one, because it's so much longer, like, each episode they talk about, like, 10 movies. So they go way more into the whole movie and not just the scene, you know what I mean? So I don't know, it's like I find it really entertaining. I liked it a lot. It's actually a couple of the episodes I watched more than once. Oscar said Terrifier 2 was disgusting, probably the most vulgar movie ever shown in theaters. Oh well, now I really want to see it.
No, it's probably gonna, Human Centipede. It's worse than that.
See, that's what I mean. That's, to me, that's like a different thing. Like stuff like Human Centipede, anything having to do with like poop or vomit or anything like that, that's gross. Like, sometimes I can watch it, but I'll just be like, the whole time. I'm not going to faint or anything like that. It's just, it'll probably just make me gag. But anything that's bloody, like that's just blood or gore or guts or something like that, that does not bother me at all. And I don't know why that is, but that's just the way it is. But anything other than
thank you very much,
blood
Cam
or guts.
He just sent us $10.
Oh, thank you.
For a Krussell Wine Fund.
Krussell Wine Fund. We're going to have to, like, order it. Because I was like, do I seriously have to order it? They don't have it at the liquor store. It's specialty. And like I said, it's all sold out except for that $175 bottle. And I was just like I said, no wine can be that good. I'm sorry. It just can't. What's up, Dave? Hello, you two. Jen, you look amazing like always. Thank you. Tom, always buff. Yes, he is. Probably going to Mannequins tonight. Got some voodoo theme happening. Yeah, that's right. Tonight was, yeah, what was... I did the poster, but I can't remember what it was. I can't remember what it was. But yeah, we might be at Mannequins for... Maybe. I don't know. Are we doing, like, for their Saturday next week?
We'll work it out. I think I'd probably rather go to Mannequins because I think it'll be a bigger party.
We'll see, because like Friday night they're doing Memento Mori. They're doing, which they've already done this month, but they're doing like a special Halloween edition because it's the weekend before. But then Mannequins is also doing a Friday, which is Hellbilly. Like I said, it's like a Rob Zombie, like redneck Halloween kind of theme. And then, well, it's mostly like Rob Zombie. That's what they're doing. And then Saturday night is Horrorween. You're supposed to dress like your favorite horror movie villain. And they're going to do like costume contest because of that. But that's like the Saturday night. But see, I'm thinking that it'd probably be better if we were going to do a party to do Saturday, because if we go Friday, I'm not going to be able to like have time, because we're going to do the show and I'm not going to have time to like do the costume. You know what I'm saying? Whereas Saturday, I'll have like most of the day to fuck with the costume. Good. Because I want the costume to look like super.
So what are you telling me? You want to go to Mannequins?
On Saturday. I just think that would work out better.
We'll do that.
I just think that would work out better. Because, like I said, I would like to go to both, but I can't afford it, and probably my liver can't take it, and probably I'll be too tired. So, you know what I mean? Yeah, Ben said, horror movies in the 50s used to claim they had an ambulance on standby and paramedics waiting in the lobby for overcome patrons. It's a bullshit publicity stunt. I kind of felt like that, too. You know, they did the same thing with The Exorcist. You know, they kind of, like, played up tales of like people throwing up and passing out and them having to take people out. I'm like, you'd have to be very, very delicate to, and if you're that delicate, why would you even be going to see that movie in the first place? I'm just not buying it. Thank you, Jeffy Art.
What do you say?
I had a sip of Screaming Eagle. What is that? Caber?
I don't know what that is.
I don't know what that is. $2,000 a bottle one Christmas. It tasted no different than my usual $10 one.
Yeah.
But I was also wasted, so there's that.
Yeah. That must be wine, probably.
Yeah, it's not the wine, it's the company. Yeah, I kind of feel like up to a certain price point, and I think that this has been borne out by like blind taste tests and stuff, up to a certain price point, which is usually around $15, $20, like after that, you're just paying for the prestige and like the name and the packaging and stuff like that, because they don't really taste that much better.
Yeah, I actually mentioned this on other shows. Wine tasting is kind of like modern art. It's a bunch of bullshit. It's mostly just about status, and they like she said, they did blind taste tests and see, you know, they can't really tell the difference.
Once wine gets to a certain,
right,
like I said, once it's about $15 a bottle, even $10. I've had some wine that was like, I'm not a wine connoisseur by any means, but I've had some $10 bottle of wines that were actually pretty good.
Where all that came from is back in the olden days, there was a lot of difference between cheap wine and expensive wine. This is going all the way back to the Roman era, and they don't really know exactly what Romans liked in wine. They seemed to like sweet wine. But what it was is that they did not have proper bottling techniques, and they couldn't get seals well. And if you bought a shitty brand of wine back in the olden days, chances are maybe like 1 out of 10 of those bottles, or maybe sometimes more, would be rancid. You know, it just tastes terrible. And the flavors were always off. There'd be inconsistencies in the same batch. No two bottles tasted the same after it sat there a little bit, because some bottles were dirtier than others when they filled them. Nowadays, it's down to a science, okay? If you were to take somebody from like a fucking connoisseur wine tasting motherfucker from the 1800s and took him to Walmart and gave him some of that fucking cardboard box full
I was going to
wine,
say, even a boxed wine.
he'd tell you that was the best wine he ever had. And you're like, fucking, that's poor people wine. And he's like, oh, the poor people are so rich in this era. They're drinking like kings. Which there's something to that. I mean, pretty much everybody who needs AC has it. The average person who's semi-literate fucking 90 IQ motherfucker running around with a phone, and the phone has more power than fucking a fucking oligarch had in the early 1900s. Far more. You know what I mean? Fucking Fucking Howard Hughes couldn't have dreamed of that kind of power in somebody's hand, a cell phone with access to the internet. You know what I mean? So no, in many ways, poverty was eliminated. Even the fucking poorest of people here in the United States are comparatively rich to what they were centuries ago.
Well, I mean, it's all relative. I mean, you're always, and that's true of any area, you're always just poor in relation to, like, other people.
Other people, right. Which
that are
you can play that
time.
game forever. That's the same as being ugly or the same as being short. It's always relative to who's around you, you know? So, but, no, you can go down to the projects if you wanted to in Mississippi, and they were living better than a medieval king. Fuck, if you see how a medieval king had lived somewhere in Scotland, you know, fucking, almost maybe like, you know, fucking early medieval period, fucking nasty, you know.
But the point is that nobody had good shit.
Nobody had good shit.
Because nobody had invented it.
Yeah, right. It's just the standard of living has increased a lot on the back of fucking industrial technology. The industrial area, the industrial fucking era fucking was a huge boom to fucking civilization. Just people just take it for granted. They're spoiled, you know. Electricity changed the fucking game. Indoor plumbing, fucking just running water, climate control, hardwood floors. Used to be people just had dirt floors, you know. So, you know, the ability to fucking wash clothes in your house, even a clothesline was a good idea, you know. They had those, I think, going way back, but there were certain eras where entire cities were just nothing but just infested with lice, and there's probably nothing you can do about it, you know. Just fucking sanitation is just so much better.
Bob Apple says, rocking a Creep Show shirt. Yeah, I know. I love this shirt. I actually got this at FYE, like at the mall, of all places. Have you checked out the new series on Shudder? Yes, I have. It's good. I like it. You know, obviously, like the 1985 movie is the OG, but you know, it's good. There were some episodes of it that I really, really liked a lot. You know, let's see. Anthony says, opinion regarding Cemetery Man. I fucking love Cemetery Man. I think did you see it? You saw it with me, right?
Yeah, it's all right.
Like, you thought it was a little bit weird, but it is a little bit weird.
Right. Yeah,
but that's
right.
Okay. I love that movie, actually.
I think that was that Pretty movie, huh?
The Pretty movie?
Well, didn't he have like a dead girlfriend? An undead girlfriend type?
Yeah, kind of.
It was.
He lived in this.
Well,
it wasn't Italian. It was an Italian film. I mean, the name of it was Della Morte.
Yeah, it was a good looking movie.
Yeah, but I mean, the main actor was Rupert Everett, and he's British, but the movie was Italian.
Yeah, nice.
But yeah, I actually love that movie. I think we reviewed it. It was probably like a while back, but yeah, we reviewed it. I have it someplace. Ben says, my dad was a lifelong wine expert, and he said really cheap wine is usually just as good because they have surplus grapes and just use the excess for producing more of the same under generic labels. See, I kind of feel like that's what happens with a lot of stuff. You know, it's like, why waste it? They're just laying around right there. So, honestly, I don't think I've ever had... Like I said, I'm not a big wine connoisseur, but even like having to do with liquor and stuff like that, even when you get like the real cheap shit, it's bad, but it's not that bad. You know what I mean? I mean, okay, now I will say that a couple times I've got the Well vodka and stuff like that at iBar, like back in the old days, which I think is Aristocrat. And it's not great. I mean, it mostly just kind of tastes like rubbing alcohol. But if you mix it with other stuff, it's not too bad. But I would rather pay like $1 or $2 more and get like something a little bit better. But other than that, like as long as it's not like bottom shelf, as long as it's just like one tier up from that, I really can't tell the difference between a $12 bottle of vodka, for example, and a $25 bottle of vodka. I can't really tell the difference.
You can only detect bottom shelf.
That's what I'm saying. So up to like after a certain price point, I really can't distinguish them anymore. So it really doesn't seem, because honestly, like if we go to Sam's, I'll get like the Sam's Club vodka, which is what, $13.99, $12.99, something like that, for like a big huge bottle.
Yeah, and that's like Grey Goose. It's like a $20 bottle.
Yeah, and I can't tell the difference between that and the $22.99 bottle of Sky. which I get if I can't go to Sam's.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I honestly can't really tell a lot of difference between that and like an $11 bottle of Pinnacle either.
I can't tell the difference between Sam's silver tequila and Milagro silver. I think it's the same. They're just identical. And the only difference is the fucking price. Yeah. Sam's silver tequila is fucking, for that fifth, I think it's not even $15. That's cheap. Milagro's twice that, nearly $30 for that amount. So that's a good buy. Actually, yeah, I think it's $20. $20.
Yeah, because I remember. Yeah, I remember you buying it. Because I remember when we go to Sam's.
About 19 something.
Like I remember the vodka is only. I'm pretty sure the vodka is $13.99.
Yeah.
I think is what it was, or maybe just $12.99.
And it comes in a pretty bottle too. It's a teardrop shaped, flat.
The tequila does. Yeah.
The tequila does. Yeah. It's in a pretty bottle.
Yeah, and I think that's $22, $23. Yeah. And like you said, you can't really tell the difference. I wouldn't know because I'm not a big tequila fan, but you know.
Like Milagro Silver. Yeah. And according to Con Vatslan, he said that Milagro Silver is the best tequila you can get in Mexico. Says they love it.
Well, there you go.
Says, what about all that exotic little shit? He goes, yeah. And then there's some like homebrew type, small family, distilleries that make real expensive shit. But when you go to a nightclub in Mexico, Milagro is their top shelf. That's the one they're all like. They'll pay more for that. That's the one they'll go to. There are about 3 or 4 different versions of Milagro, and here that's the same thing. Milagro. That's going to be one of the more expensive club vodkas.
Yeah. Danny Rolling said, Jenny said she reviewed American Werewolf in London. Would you ever review the sequel, American Werewolf in Paris, which has bad CGI, but still has pretty good practical effects and original story? I might get around to it one of these days. I only saw it one time, and I remember not loving it, but it's been like a while since I've seen it, so... Jeffy Hart said, I love going to liquor stores to get art and graphic design ideas. Yeah, that's funny, because when we were at ABC the other day, I was just kind of like, I love... liquor bottles and liquor labels and stuff like that. I really, really like the whole gestalt of that. So I'm always really into looking at all the different bottle shapes and all the cool shit they do with their fucking.
Tom's Inglorious Bastard says, yeah, it's one of the best ones. I believe that's Con of Aslan. Talking about Milagro.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's good.
Like I said, I wouldn't know. I'm not a big tequila fan. But honestly...
Milagro Silver is really close to nice vodka. It's mild. It mixes with anything. Then, they have the Anjou and then, the Gold, which is something you drink on the rocks, like whiskey. That's good, too. But I noticed Milagro is more about being smooth. It's got a real smooth flavor to it. It's not harsh at all.
Smooth like Billy D.
Williams. Smooth, yeah. Like Colt 45.
Anthony said, I was flying on a jet 6 years ago and realized I was having drinks at 30,000 feet and come to understand that a king would not have this opportunity.
Right.
See, that would blow their fucking minds. And I kind of think that's why I try not to complain too much because, yeah, I still complain about stuff. But it's just think about it in those kind of terms. If you went back 100 years, 200 years, man, everyone's life was so fucking shitty. But I mean, they didn't know any better, too. So it's not like they were oh, look at those people over there with the electricity and the Wi-Fi. You know what I mean? Everybody had a shitty life, pretty much. Even
I don't think it was shitty per se.
Well, no, but it wasn't. Well, they wouldn't have realized it was shitty because there wasn't any. Because like I said, it's all relative.
They didn't have luxuries and comforts and shit that you'd have. They were harder people.
Well, you had to be.
Most of them. Right?
You had to be.
And even you go back to the Roman era, they had some shit that would sound pretty wild on the surface, Big public baths, people out there nude sunbathing, and there was sex going on, and it sounded like some wild shit that you'd see down in some Miami porn flick or something. But if you were to actually see it, it probably was pretty damn grungy.
Oh yeah, I'm sure it was.
Yeah.
I'm sure there were just cooties about.
Yeah, it was probably pretty. Because evidently sanitation wasn't very. Even though they had running water, sanitation wasn't as good as you think.
Which is better than a lot of people had.
Yeah. The sanitation evidently was not that good.
I still think of us watching that show, Spartacus, where they had like the public toilets.
Yeah.
And they were like all open, and they were just like, and then you had like the one guy who had like the thing on the end of the stick.
Like a sponge on the end of a stick.
Like a sponge on a stick, and like
fucking wash it. Like there you go.
Just go under your taint.
Thank you.
Thank you. Give him a tip or whatever.
And that was the same wet sponge he just fucking washed the other dude's ass with before you. And that's they didn't.
He just dropped it in a bucket of water.
Put it back in a bucket.
That's ew. They're like, that's grossing me out.
Yeah, their thinking was not the same as ours. They didn't think certain things.
How dirty can butts be anyway?
Yeah, they're got lead on there. Well, we all got them, so it must be okay.
It's so gross.
Yeah.
It's like it's such. I just saw that scene and I was like, yeah, that's about right.
And then like they had, you see all that damn classic statuary that they had, and it's all like in marble, all white looking and classy. And the same thing with a lot of those buildings. But the thing is in those days they were all painted, so it looked like some tacky 1970s Persian fucking discotheque or something. Fucking tacky ass.
You say that like that's a bad thing.
Yeah, just. No, those statues would not have looked good painted. But
that'd have been super cool if it had like fucking glitter on it and shit like that.
Yeah. They tried to make those statues
rhinestones
look like it was the person standing there. Evidently, there's paint residues and pigments on them. Like, man, they probably painted the pubic hair on them.
That sounds like some shit they would do.
Like some shit that they would do.
Sounds like some shit they would do.
Yeah. Tacky motherfuckers.
Well, I like some tacky things. Michael says, "Do you guys naturally have a high tolerance for alcohol?" I guess. I don't know. I don't think it's natural. I just think we drink a lot, it's just.
We drink on the show.
Yeah, we drink on the show.
We drink on the show. Usually, when you see us drinking, that's when we drink.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or when we go out.
I'm almost immune to it, you know what I mean? Because I've fucking got an artificial endocrine system, I don't really ever pay for it. It's not like I don't have to worry about testosterone suppression. That would normally happen if a dude drinks. He's going to be suppressed as shit, gain all kinds of weight, feel like shit, especially at this age. That's why I go to that biker bar, and most of those dudes are just all belly, okay? And they don't have the fucking hormonal fucking content in their blood to fight that shit off. They're fucking just fuck it, But I do. And Jenny gets little bumps here and there, so it's not the same for us. We can fight that shit off pretty easily.
Yeah, I don't even usually get hangovers much anymore. Honestly, like I said, I'll just I'll drink a bottle of water and then take 3 aspirin before I go to bed, and I'm usually fine the next day. I'm tired, but that's about it. I don't have headaches or anything.
I'm all open about my fucking HRT and my androgen use. Right now, I'm at the end part of a fucking trend stack cycle. I'm impervious. Trend is, and I'm never gonna do trend again. This shit is fucking bad.
Except for you cooking that fish last night. That was a little bit.
What about it?
Cooking the fish drunk last night.
Oh yeah, cooking the fish drunk. I cooked it though. I over-seasoned that shit. I put so much of that damn lemon pepper powder on that shit. Lemon pepper seasoning. I was just like, man, fucking this shit's hot. It was hot, overly sour. And then she couldn't finish hers, and I tasted it, and hers was fucking seasoned about twice what mine was.
Yeah.
I just was working real fast and just put a whole bunch on there. Yeah. But, man, I've had this shit in my system. It's building up. I got about a week left. Last night, I was crying like a bitch in fucking bed and shit. I was at my wit's fucking end. I just could not sleep.
I hate when that happens.
I just couldn't sleep. And I started getting frustrated, and my fucking hormones were all out of balance. I just started going, and fucking tears coming to my eyes. I was fucking so frustrated that I couldn't sleep. Finally, 5:30, I fell asleep. I angered myself to sleep.
I hate when that happens.
Fucking hate.
Well, because that happens. It hasn't happened lately. I mean, I don't sleep a lot anyway. Last night I think I fell asleep at 11:30 or something, and then I woke up. I woke up at 3-ish because I had to go to the bathroom, and then. But sometimes, if I wake up in the middle of the night to pee, which I always do now, then when I get back in bed, I can't go back to sleep, and then I'll lay there for hours and hours, and I'm just getting more and more mad because I'm just kind of like, God fucking damn it, because I know that even if I fall asleep, I'm gonna wake up at like 6:30 or 7 and not be able to fall back to sleep. So, you know, because once it's daylight out, I can't get back to sleep. That's just how I work. You know what I mean?
That last time I went to a club, vegan black metal chef was there, Brian. He lifts too. He's a natural, though. He doesn't take anything. He's trying to do this shit vegan too. He's not getting big. Just saying, Brian. You're not getting big, dude. Anyway, he looks at me. He goes, "Dude, man, you're looking freaky as fuck." You know, because it was a pretty dramatic change once it started to work on me. And I was thinking to myself, see, when I started, I was about 189, and I said, "Man, I must be fucking pushing 200 pounds now," because I fucking was feeling fucking huge, man. Fucking people were like, ah, people that knew me, but I hadn't checked the scale. 2 days ago, I says, "I'm gonna get that scale out." He says, "Watch, man, I'm gonna be like 200 fucking pounds." Fucking took all my clothes off and shit and got on there. 172. I lost weight.
Yeah.
I lost weight.
Well, you must have like lost mostly fat then, because muscle is generally like more heavy than fat.
It recomped.
Yeah.
It ate all that damn fat in between the muscle fibers.
Yeah.
Out, and then I gained some muscle, but after it all worked out to 172.
It all worked out.
But my strength went up a lot. You know, I'm a lot stronger, and I feel more dense, like I'm more compact or something.
Like a pound cake.
Yeah, like. But I got a week left on it, man, and it's just getting worse. Every few days, it's just piling up, and you just get to where you just can't sleep. You're just too alert. You're tired, but you just don't sleep. But you grow anyway. It's weird. You get stronger anyway. But
God, I hate not being able to sleep. I hate it.
But then I'm coming off of this, and I'm not going to do this one again, man.
Yeah.
Most dudes only do this maybe once a year, but I'm like, nah, I think I'd rather. There's other shit that's a lot easier to deal with. You know what I mean? It's more expensive. It takes a little bit longer, but I got time. I don't think it would.
Yeah,
This would only help a dude who's trying to make some kind of show date. He's a fucking IFBB pro, and he's got to beat these other guys. They're in a steroid drag race, basically, to fucking who's going to look the freakiest by a certain date. Then yeah, it might give you an edge, but just a regular civilian type gym rat dude like me, nah, it's Winstrol and testosterone. That's good enough. Well-known shit.
I'm going to read Michael's comment because I think you're going to laugh. He said, "This thought just came in my head, not a put down, and you guys are cool, but I can't picture you guys being intimate." I thought I would just read that out loud. Just because I thought that was funny. And I thought you would probably have a comment about that.
I ain't saying nothing about that.
Really? You don't have anything to say about that?
I ain't saying nothing about that.
You don't have anything to say about that?
Man, I'll bounce Jenny all around.
I like your sound effect.
Back in the day, she'd fucking enjoy it. Now she's like, "Will you hurry up?" I got to get to sleep, goddammit.
Bitch is old.
Yeah, bitch, I'm too old for this. Go get you another girlfriend.
I didn't say that, but you know.
You kind of hated it. Go get somebody to take up some of this slack. Especially when, like, if you're on cycle, your sex drive's way up.
Yeah, which is fine, but, you know.
Does she get sick of that shit?
Well, sometimes I have other things I gotta do. Like, I gotta work and stuff. That's all.
I mean, my HRT is not really HRT. Sometimes I'm doing fucking 400, 500 milligrams of test. I might be a week, which that's probably fucking 1,600 nanograms per deciliter. That's like 3 times what a 20-year-old has in him. And then if you're doing anabolics on top of that, fucking effectively, anabolics are a lot more forgiving, it's more targeted to the androgen receptors that are for muscle building, but it does other shit too. It would be kind of like effectively like having fucking 3,000 nanograms per deciliter probably in your body, which would be like fucking 7 or 8 times what a fucking optimal fucking 20-year-old would have. This is super physiological levels. This is supernatural shit. You can go out there and work yourself out to the bone, and you're totally healed up 12 hours later. A normal human can't do that. It would take a week to heal up, especially at 50. You could never do it in your 50s. No. You guys see fucking Dwayne Johnson, The Rock, and all those guys? Don't even for 1 second fucking... Don't you even dare for 1 second think that those dudes are natural. No fucking way. No.
I'm sure nobody thinks
No fucking way. You cannot look like that at 50-something or 40-something. You can't look like that barely in your mid-30s.
Well, I think that's true of any celebrities,
right,
whether they're bodybuilders or whether they're like beautiful women or whatever. It's
None of that's
just kind of like,
they're all on stuff to help them look like that.
I mean, yeah, that's kind of the whole point of.
Yeah. And it's not cheating.
If you just let shit go, then you're not going to look that way. Sorry.
And it's not really cheating because if you see how that stuff works, it's working by biological rules. They're just making sure that they're playing by those rules. They're taking that Winstrol, or they're going to take this fucking hormone and this and that. And it's the same way if your fucking teeth fall out, you're going to put fucking false teeth in. If you fucking go blind, you're going to get fucking glasses. You know, it's that same philosophy. As you get older, you can't fucking keep that hormonal production up, so you're going to have to inject it. And it works. And they've been doing it since the 1930s. Every one of those dudes that were fucking jacked back in the fucking 40s and shit and 50s, none of those dudes are natural. They had anabolics and testosterone back then. It's just that most people didn't know about it.
Michael said you're both attractive, by the way.
Thank you.
In case he meant to imply something else. I didn't think that, but, thank you for saying that.
We have porn. You see our porn. You fucking, you'd understand it. We just never published it. We just never published it.
Oh, my goodness.
Jenny throwing me around the room by the dick. Fucking all kinds of weird shit.
Just like Pooky throws her toys around. Sure.
Slapping me.
That's your head's bald. I could like slap your bald head.
Yeah.
Because it make a cool noise then. And your tiny little booty.
Yeah. Monkey booty. This is just fucking.
You do have a little monkey booty, actually.
Yeah, coming at you like a gibbon.
Well, it's not. Well, I don't know if I go that far. It's not like bright red or anything, but
like a gibbon.
He's like presenting. That's like. That's super funny. Tom's Inglorious Bastard just said, "Well, just pictured Kirk making love to Spock." Well, like I said, that's a whole subgenre of fanfic, right?
They got porn for that.
They got porn of everything.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of porn of that.
Yeah.
There's a lot of porn of that. Funnily enough, I was just watching my 6 episodes of Thriller earlier, and there was one episode in there that had the Shat in it when he was young.
Yeah.
From 1960 or 1961. Okay. It was actually the best episode that I've seen so far, because it was actually very horror-y. Because, Thriller, like I've been talking about, it's mostly like a crime show, but they have like a bunch of horror stuff on there too. Jeffy Art said, when it comes to testosterone regimen, this is going to go on for a while.
Okay.
What starter, beginner, routine, or brand does Tom recommend? I don't lift a ton of weight, but I do low, hot reps. Should I change my routine?
First of all, how old are you? I had to know how old you are and whether or not you're on HRT. I'm not sure exactly what he's asking. What is he asking? Read that again to me.
When it comes to testosterone regimen, what starter or beginner routine or brand does Tom recommend? I don't lift a ton of weight, but I do low, hot reps. Should I change my routine?
Well, I don't know.
And said he's 43.
43. At 43, if you want to put on any weight in terms of muscle and get rid of a lot of fat, you have to be on HRT, hormone replacement therapy. I don't know what country you live in. Some places like Mexico, which are very civilized places, you can just get fucking testosterone over the counter, like in a civilized fucking country.
I kind of wish they would do that here. Actually, most of the shit you can get over the counter in Mexico, I wish they would sell over the counter here.
But you see, fucking our elites here have the fucking medical industry totally locked up. They want their cut, all right? They have to make their, off of something that you should be able to just go and buy, okay? And it's not expensive. So, I'm not a doctor. Okay,
but he plays one on this show.
But I am a bricklayer. Remember the fucking Bones. And I'm a doctor. I'm not a bricklayer. Anyway,
also he said he lives in Florida.
He lives in Florida. Okay. All right. If what you can do is you can just go on Google and go HRT clinic near me, and this shit will pop up. There'll be a clinic near you. You go in there for a consultation. Tell them that you got fucking that you want fucking HRT. You want testosterone. You want to lose fat and gain some muscle. You'll go in there and you'll pay about $700 for that first month. It's going to involve consultations, fucking blood work, and then your first month of the drugs that they're going to give you. I call them drugs. They're not really drugs. They're just hormones. All right.
Well, it's,
It's what your body would normally make anyway.
Yeah. It's all right.
They're going to probably put you on 200 milligrams of testosterone a week. You inject it. You're going to learn how to inject it into yourself. They're going to give you the rigs and everything. And then they're probably going to give you 1,000 IU of HCG. All right, which is something to keep you shooting live rounds. It's a pituitary gland stimulant, as they say. Keep you shooting live rounds.
Oh, hey, now, I just got a message that something got delivered.
Oh, okay. Now, if you don't want to shoot live rounds, you can just take test, and it'll shut down, and it'll be like birth control on a female. Okay, because if your test is real high, naturally, if your test is real high because you're injecting it, your system will see that in there and go, well, we don't need to make tests. We got a whole lot. So your nuts will just go to sleep. You get little tiny peanuts. You know what I mean? Little peanuts.
Little sleeping nuts.
Yeah, they'll fucking go to sleep.
Aw.
All right. And it'll be a long time for those suckers to come back, too, if they're on their own. All right. Now, HCG will keep them going. All right. So you have decent balls. Okay. There's another one
you need decent balls.
Yeah. If you're at a cheaper clinic, they'll give you Clomid, which is little Clomid pills, which kind of does the same thing. It just kind of does it in a different way. Clomid's a lot cheaper. I like HCG. It's better. Clomid can kind of give you a funny feeling after a while, and HCG helps keep weight off, and it also helps you. HCG, I noticed that it stimulates all the other glands because it stimulates the pituitary gland, which is like the master gland to tell all the other ones to keep going. And I noticed that HCG got rid of my heartburn. I can eat anything like I was a kid.
Lucky.
After that. If I can never get a sour stomach, never get heartburn.
Wow, I wish I could find something that did that for me because I've never found anything.
HCG would do it.
I bought all the medicines, I bought all that kind of stuff.
HCG. The thing is, though, is that I've already offered you that kind of shit, and it says, no, you will become fertile again. You'll start ovulating, you'll go through the period. All that shit comes back.
Not worth it.
Well, there you go.
Not worth it.
So, take that. And then weight will start, you'll get stronger. Weight will start coming off you a lot easier, and in terms of fat, and muscle will go on. Now, because you're on HRT, you don't have to worry about testosterone suppression anymore. So you can drink. It doesn't matter. You can even go without sleep. Still doesn't matter. You're still going to have all that testosterone in there. You'll still be growing. You just kind of overcome. It makes you real resilient. And because you don't have to worry about testosterone suppression, that's a gateway into fucking steroids. Because the main negative side effect of steroids is testosterone suppression. You take you take steroids, your test will shut down. Which that's not a problem. You can wake it back up if you know what to do. But back in the day, dudes would take steroids and come off of them and get fat as fuck. And go, what happened? Well, you didn't get back on HCG to start your nuts fucking running again, and you didn't use Clomid to recover. It's called PCT, post-cycle therapy.
The little nut factory.
Right. So they didn't know about PCT, Pros did, but just fucking high school fucking athletes and shit, they didn't know what the fuck they were doing. And they would just fucking jump on and off steroids like you could do that. You can't. Not really. You come off steroids, you're going to have to fucking do post-cycle therapy to get your endocrine system running again, to maintain what it is that you built. And if you built a shit ton of muscle, normal endogenous testosterone production will not maintain that amount of muscle. So that means you're going to have to be on HRT, which is more than natural production. That'll hold that muscle on there. Not your own endogenous production, especially after 35. After 35, you're washed up. You've got to be on HRT.
Everybody starts going downhill.
Yeah, you're starting to go downhill.
Camp Guy said they say that old married dudes have higher sperm counts than young single dudes.
No.
I have heard that, though. I have heard that also.
Well, maybe they're not jerking off as much. Young dudes are probably fucking into porn. Probably what it is.
Jeffy Art said, I've considered that as well. I'm way too much of a pussy to inject myself with anything, though.
No, so
and then Jeffy Art said, Jenny, I just look at cake and cookies and I gain weight. I feel your pain. Yeah, same. It's really sucky. I really wish I could be one of those people that could just, eat as much as they wanted and, not gain weight, but I'm unfortunately not one of those people. Michael said, why did Tom have to take testosterone therapy again?
Huh?
Why did you have to take testosterone therapy again?
I got old.
Yeah. Yeah.
I got old. If you're a man and you want to remain a man, after 35, you need to start considering fucking HRT. Sorry. At 40, knowing what I know now, I would have gone on at 40. All right? It would have been a lot smoother transition into midlife. You have no idea what a dude on HRT who's keeping up with himself, what he looks like in his 70s. A dude on HRT who's keeping up with himself, maybe doing a little bit of anabolics here or there, but he's not an IBB pro. He's not trying to fucking weigh 270 pounds. He's just trying to remain fit. Will look better than I do at 73. I got video fucking evidence of this. You look at the dude, his body looks like a fucking A-class body of a fucking 25-year-old. The face will kind of look like a guy in his early 50s, and the motherfucker's mid-70s. Now, you start pushing it too far, you're weighing 260 pounds, 240 pounds on a small or a medium frame, even a large frame, doesn't matter. Your heart was not designed to pump blood through that many blood vessels. That's a lot of stress on your heart. It fucks your valves up. The compounds themselves are safe. What's dangerous is all that fucking muscle mass. That's a lot of muscle mass. And the heart was never designed to push blood through that much muscle. And when it's beaten, it'll be strong because those anabolics have strengthened that heart. But the valves are kind of like made out of plasticky cartilage type shit. That shit starts flexing and it's all fucking a lot of stress and it'll wear out. That's what happened to Arnold. They had to replace
Well,
the
in
hip.
some ways, too, it's like, I'm not saying it's good to be, like, fat, but in some ways, a person that's, like, 300 pounds fat, as
That's
opposed
easier.
to somebody that is 300 pounds of
Lean.
muscle.
Yeah, oh yeah, big difference.
Yeah, you're gonna have problems in both situations, but in some ways it might be better to just
be fat. Yeah.
than muscular.
Because that fat doesn't have all those blood vessels in it.
Right.
All right, and you're not pumping it, and it's not very oxygen hungry. Fat isn't. That muscle it all needs oxygen rich blood, and there's a lot of blood vessels there, and that's a lot of stress on the heart. You really don't want to go too much above 230 maybe. Probably about 230, 240. Now I'm talking about if you're super lean. I'm talking about dudes that are fucking lower than 15% body fat. In other words, abs and fucking cut, and you're 230 pounds. That motherfucker's big. That's a lot of weight for somebody that has no fat on them. There's a lot of stress on the heart. Now, there's some caveats. If you look like that at 18 and try to maintain that your whole life, that's a lot of stress. But if you're trying to look at that like that after 50, it's not as bad. Because as long as you were natural and you weren't doing a lot of anabolics and a lot of fucking hormones before 40 or 50, you got a lot of gas in your tank. You probably haven't been under a lot of stress. So you can handle another 30 years, of life, being kind of jacked. Because you're going to meet maximum life expectancy anyway in 20-something years, If anything, it might extend your life because you're doing it in the second half, not in the first half. You don't need it as much in the first half. You need it more when you start to age. After 40, your body's shutting down. You're dying, basically. You're programmed to just shut down and die. It's going to be a long process, though, where you can kind of bypass that and fucking make those systems wake back up. Your endocrine system really shouldn't be shutting down. There's no reason for it to do it. It's just that you weren't selectively bred for long life. Most of your ancestors had already reproduced by 18 or 19, going back fucking thousands and thousands of years. So that was never really bred into you to live to be 130, Danny
Rowling said we should play with the Ouija board on this episode.
Nah, fuck that.
Well, like I said, I do have the mouse pad right here that's like a Ouija board.
Yeah, Ben said hit that like button, people.
I'm gonna run to the bathroom, and then when I get back, maybe it's time for another drink. I feel like. Oh my god, it's still light outside.
Yeah, it's still early.
Weird.
Cam guy said he'd rather have liposuction. Nah. Liposuction's fucking expensive, man. It's fucking easier just to go ahead and just inject test. So much easier. Turn your metabolism back on. You'll start burning food and metabolizing like you were even better, really, in my case, better than when I was a teenager. There's nothing magic about it. It's all science. It's just now you're able to signal. All the cells can now communicate and send signals to one another better. It's not cheating. You're actually following the rules when you do that. None of it is violating any of the rules of your biology. If it was violating the rules of biology, it wouldn't work. It works because that's the way the body works. You're just exploiting some of the features that are in there. Can't say I was between 175 and 190 all my life, and now I'm 234 pounds. Bummer. Yeah, you're fat, bro. Fat.
Okay.
Yeah, he's fat. How old are you? Yeah, guy. Telling you, easy. That shit's easy to take care of. It's just you got to get the biology, you got to get the chemistry correct. You know. Put some testosterone in there. All that shit'll start reversing.
See, that light has been that color for like a really long time. It's just it randomly changes.
Yeah.
Back to that one other color, and I can't figure out why.
Yeah, it was funny because like my boy was on here and says, "Well, I'm aging normally," and I goes, "Yeah, I noticed." Aging normally, man, it sucks. Fucking, you're not,
You're such
you
a
know.
bitch, Tom.
What's that? I'm a bitch. Yeah. I was aging normally. If you see the picture of me, I'm fucking 53. I'm going on 54. If you were to see a picture of what I would have looked like without HRT, you'd be laughing. I'd have been fucking skinny, with a fat pot belly, and face fucked up. That's what it would look like. You just can't maintain. You can't maintain health or physique through natural aging. Natural aging means you get weak and die. That's what that means.
We're raging against the dying of the light.
Yes.
Like Dylan Thomas said.
You're genetically designed to fucking self-destruct, you know. So you want to get around that.
Trying to bypass.
Mm-hmm.
Trying to bypass.
Most of the destruction is fucking hormone starvation. Your body doesn't work. It's not working right. HCG and test. That's the foundation right there for a man. Women, you might want to throw in a little test, but a small amount, and probably something like progesterone, primobolan, something like that.
Weirdo dude said Benny Hill bald head slap.
Yeah.
Should I slap your bald head?
No, I ain't worried about that.
You're not worried about that?
I'm not worried about any of the bullshit. Let me try to get you one of these.
Time for another drink. Time for another drink. Friday night. I like going out, but kind of glad we're not going out tonight because it's just kind of like a lot to do the show, and then I gotta get ready, and then we gotta go out, and then it's like really late, and then, you know, then I'm like really sleepy when I get home. So, you know. But like I said, we'll probably stay in this weekend because of all the Halloween parties next weekend. We got to save up for that kind of shit. And like I said, I gotta practice my costume. I gotta practice it. I think it's gonna be okay. But see, that's what I thought. I always like have a picture in my head. It's like, this is how I'm gonna do it, and I have it all like plotted out in my head. So sometimes I'm like, well, because I have it plotted out in my head that I don't have to do it in actuality. And then when I actually start doing it, it doesn't work out the way that I thought that it would. And then I'm like, well, shit, now I don't have time to like fix it. But I think it'll be okay. And like I said, I got most of the major stuff, but there's two things that I hope I get in time, but if I don't, it's not that big of a deal. You know what I mean? It'll still look cool without that, but we'll see. We'll see. I think it's gonna look cool, but we'll find out. We'll find out. You guys we'll see it on actual Halloween. What should we do because actual Halloween is on Monday, right? And that's not this Monday, but like the next Monday. And that's our haunting show. So should we do like a haunting episode and also a Halloween special? Maybe. I don't know.
I'm not worried about it.
Well, yeah. I mean, I'm the one that got to worry about it.
I ain't worried about it. I got to tie my shoe.
He's only worried about
I'm worried about tying
shit
my shoe.
that's happening right now.
Shit's happening right now. I got to tie my shoe.
No, we'll just do a haunting episode. That's all.
Oscar said scrap the haunting show altogether.
Why?
Well, the thing about it is that we still need some shit to talk about.
Yeah.
And so, but like I said, we could maybe do like a haunting episode plus, like I said, just Halloween shit.
Let me just do a Halloween themed show for a haunting show.
That's what I was kind of thinking, but I was like, well, do any of them have anything to do with Halloween? There's got to be at least one.
Yeah.
Right? There's got to be. Maybe we could do like the silly mummy one.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which is kind of like...
We can goof on that one.
I swear to God, they were trolling.
Some of the newer ones they're trolling.
I'm pretty sure they were trolling.
Fucking trolling.
Which, if they did, like that was a successful troll because they actually got on TV. And if they were, I actually like admire their ability to keep a straight face because I would not have been able to.
We can do that one. We'll do that one.
I have not have been able to. Yeah, maybe we should do the mummy one. But like I said, we can do other because I'm sure like we'll probably have like trick or treaters coming and we'll have to like run down and answer the door and shit like that.
Yeah.
But I don't think we haven't bought any candy, have we?
Huh? No.
Probably wait till the last minute because otherwise I'll eat it all.
Yeah.
Before.
Look at Pooky's fucking action kitty pose.
What's she doing?
Look at that shit. She lays on the ground. She got one back foot. Yeah, like you getting ready to spring forward, huh, Pook?
That's what I call her launching position.
Yeah, she's getting ready to launch.
She's so funny because she'll lay down and like her limb, then she'll put her back legs like straight out.
Look like a
Tom said
seal.
she looks like a seal.
Looks like a seal, yeah.
And then we were like, she was doing that before the show, and we were both looking at her, and then she was looking at both of us like, "What? Am I doing something wrong? Why are you guys both staring at me?" Because we were like talking to her. She's like, she thinks if we're both looking at her that she's doing something bad that she's not supposed to be doing.
All right, so if you guys have any questions, if you want, or anything you wanted us to talk about in terms of episodes from the past, or any questions about any cases, we can run through that. We can do any kind of current events or whatever. Just see what's out there. Ben saying he's on a 7th floor apartment.
So I can't do Halloween treats for children.
Treat children, okay, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, we had... How many did we have last year?
Some, not a whole lot.
Because we were here for Halloween last year, but we hadn't been in the house for that long.
Yeah.
But I don't know. We'll see how it goes. This is a big neighborhood, and I kind of feel like we'll probably get a lot of trick-or-treaters, but...
I can't believe we've been here for a year.
I can't believe that either. It went by so quick. Because it seems like...
We still have so much shit to do in this house.
That's what I mean. And it just seems like we just fucking... It's like we don't even have fucking furniture in half the rooms because it's like we didn't even bother.
Had to be repainted because I didn't really like the colors.
Well,
I didn't want to put furniture in because I said, well, I gotta paint these walls.
That's what I mean. It's like you don't want to... I mean, that's why I came and painted this room like before I moved everything in here because I didn't want to have to like move shit. You know what I mean? Yeah. But this is really the only room that got painted. This and my bathroom. The rest of it, we just didn't fucking bother. I don't know. I'm looking forward to Halloween though. I love Halloween. It's my favorite fucking holiday. I'm so excited about my costume. I hope it comes out good. I'll be really, really sad. I'm heartbroken if it doesn't come out the way I'm imagining. But
they usually don't.
What do you mean?
Costumes don't usually come out the way you're thinking that they do. You have to
That's
get
the
them,
spirit, Tom.
and then you have to work on them, and then you know what I mean. They're kind of like, well, I have to see. I have to see what it is. I know what the costume is.
Don't tell anybody.
I ain't saying anything.
It's a surprise.
You know, I don't know how that's going to turn out. We just have to see.
I can tell that you're dubious.
I'm dubious. That's a difficult one.
It's not. It'll be fine. I know what I'm doing.
All right.
I know what I'm doing. I think.
Yeah.
I think I know what I'm doing.
Okay.
Have a little faith in me.
All right, we'll see.
This is why I don't like to like tell him about my plans and stuff like that because he always like shits on them.
I don't shit on him. I'm just saying that's a hard one.
It's not. It'll be fine. It'll be
Okay.
fine. It'll be fine. Let's see. I teach at the animation department at a community college, said Jeffy Art. One of my students wants me to cosplay as a character he designed for his capstone project. Yeah, but like, would anybody know what that was, though? And I mean, I'm a big advocate of... I like doing... I mean, I will admit that my costume this year is not that obscure. I mean, well, it's not obscure at all, really, but... It was just all I could think, and I was just like, man, I've been wanting to do this one for a while, so I'm going to do it. But the costume that I was thinking of that I didn't end up doing, but maybe I'll get one day as a backup because it'd probably be cheap, was, you guys remember the 70s movie, Alice, Sweet Alice? Do you remember the killer in that?
Yeah.
Like with the clear
the
mask and like the
mask.
yellow raincoat and stuff. I said, well, that might be a good backup costume to have because you'd really only need like the mask and the raincoat and maybe like a fake knife or something. But how many people would know what that was though? But then I was like surprised because then I looked it up and there was like a whole website that had all of these like, you know, horror movie related costumes, and that was on there. Even though that was probably the most obscure horror movie that was on there, to be honest. Because I was like, I'm not a big fan of like people that, because you remember when like It Chapter 1 came out and It Chapter 2 came out, everybody was like dressing up as Pennywise, for Christ's sake. And it's like, that's a cool costume and everything, but Jesus Christ, everyone's doing that. Everybody. So, I don't know. I like something that's like not so obscure that everyone's like, what the fuck is that? But not so, you know, not so common that everybody's gonna be dressed like that. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So, I don't know, like, not, like, you know, how everybody was, like, Harley Quinn that year, and, like, everybody's clowns, and it's just kind of, I don't know, that's just kind of lame. It's, like, not very imaginative.
Yeah, and only half the Harley Quinns had the visual impact of fucking Harley Quinn, if you ask me. The ones that I saw.
I'm not a big
You
fan
gotta
of,
be
like...
cute to wear that.
Well, that, too, it's like, yeah, it depends on the
cute.
person wearing
Right.
it, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's just,
And
I don't...
there's two different ones. The one from the movie and the one from the
Right.
from the animated one, the one that actually looks like a Harlequin. They're both good costumes.
But everybody
Yeah.
does that.
Yeah.
Everybody.
Yeah. And if you're gonna do the movie version, well, either one of those versions, you know, I've only seen when it comes to the movie version. What was that fucking actress's name? The one that was from
That's Margot Robbie.
Margot
right?
Robbie, yeah, the Margot version.
I love her. She's great.
I've seen girls that have that build that they can pull it off. I've also seen girls that have a fucking like hot, thick look can pull that off. That outfit also looks good with booty and shit, you know, TNA. That looks good too. The harder one though is the animated one with the little
Yeah, I know what you're talking
the
about.
little mask and
Right,
the
right,
fucking
right.
little jester cap looking thing that she had. And you got to be thin and athletic with good muscle on you to replicate the way that cartoon looked. And small, you know, you're talking a 5-foot woman usually has those proportions. Taller girls don't have that. It's a kind of a short and trim, muscular legs kind of look. In other words, like a gymnast type build. And I've seen girls cosplay that, and the ones that really pull it off kind of have that gymnast build.
Well, because
Mostly.
it looks more like
That cartoon.
the cartoon character.
Yeah, right. Because the way she's drawn.
I mean, you could, if you were a different size, you could do it, but you'd have to modify it in a way that would like look good on you. I feel like, and it wouldn't look as
It wouldn't
authentic.
look
I guess
look like that cartoon. Right.
Which, like I said, is fine if you want to do like a variation of it. But I don't know.
When it comes to all those costumes and superheroes and shit, you have to pick one that fits your body style, or the effect is not the same.
I was talking to my friend Jen when we were out the other night, and because we were talking about Halloween, and I was like, I don't know. I'm kind of like whenever I'm going to look for like costumes, because I don't like to buy like a ready-made costume because I kind of feel like that's cheating a little bit. I mean, unless you're gonna pay like a couple $100s for like a really, really good one, like the deluxe one, like I kind of feel like it's cheating, and you should probably just like make it out of your own You don't have to sew it or anything like that, but like put it together out of your own shit. You know what I mean? So we were talking about that, and I said, I honestly, when I look at costume stores, if I go to Spirit Halloween or whatever, it's like I kind of at least look at the men's costumes, because if you go and look at just women's costume, then it's just going to be sexy this, sexy that. Like every single thing, it's like, can't I just have like a normal Freddy Krueger costume? Does it have to be like sexy Freddy Krueger? I'm like, that's fucked up. You know what I mean? Like a little bit, like if you want to be sexy Freddy Krueger, fine. But it's like, I don't know.
Most of them want to be sexy Freddy Krueger.
I guess so, but it's like that just seems like a weird combo to me.
Well, if you want if you wanted to be Freddy Krueger, but you're a girl, to get
I would rather just look like regular Freddy Krueger. Yeah, that's like scarier. I don't want to be sexy Freddy Krueger. That's dumb. That whole concept is dumb.
The regular Freddy Krueger outfits are available for the guys, and a woman can wear that. That's all that is.
That's what I'm saying. I would rather just get the men's version.
Yeah, that's
because I think it's stupid to be sexy Freddy Krueger.
The sexy one, that's a female option.
That's a stupid.
I understand.
That's a stupid idea.
I understand it.
But it's just funny that, I mean, it's gotten so bad that you literally you can find like a sexy version of like pretty much any costume you want, even like really, really stupid ones.
Sexy human centipede.
You know what? I think I've seen one of those. Seriously, you do it. I mean, well, you probably don't want to Google that phrase because who knows what'll come up. But I'm just saying, like, some of this stuff, I don't know. It just seems like really, really funny to me. Because I was telling Jen, I was like, look, it's like my whole thing, I have a very small window of stuff that I like Halloween costumes to be. It's like you want to look, I mean, you kind of want to look kind of hot and sexy, but it's like I would rather, like, I want to look like a monster. You know what I mean? I like looking like and I've been like that since I was a kid. Like, because I knew, like, other little girls and stuff like that. They were like, I want to be a princess. And so I was like, fuck that shit. I want to be like a fucked up, like, I always wanted to be like a hag or a mummy or something like that. I always wanted to look scary. Like, if you can look hot at the same time, but scary is always going to be, like, the main concern. I want to look scary like a monster. I don't necessarily want to look hot. But if you can also look hot and look like fucked up and scary like a monster at the same time, then that's good too. But I would rather look scary, and I've always been like that. I was like, it's Halloween. I don't want to just go around like looking like the lamest girl's costume ever. It's like, look, I'm a cat. Like they put like little black cat ears on and like a little fucking leotard or whatever. Yeah. I'm like,
Danny says The Rock took his vitamins and said his prayers just like Hulk Hogan did to get Jack. Yeah. I think it's. What I think is funny, what I always thought was funny, is that people who would not accept it, just could not accept that Arnold Schwarzenegger did steroids. Oh, I remember back in the
Why are people so invested in like whether other people do steroids or not?
Back in the day,
I mean, who cares?
Well,
really,
back in the day in the 70s, people didn't really understand what was going on. They thought steroids, you just take steroids, you get big. You know, no, you got to lift weight. A lot of it. And the steroids allows you to lift more and more weights more often. You can work out every day instead of only 2 times a week. So you got to do that work. Nothing will happen if you just take them. You know, it depends on which ones you're doing. You know, some of them are about endurance or whatever, fat loss, but no. So back in the golden era in the 70s, the Arnold and fucking Sly and Frank Zane, although he claimed to be natural, I don't fucking believe it. They wouldn't come out about their fucking use because they thought that would undercut their work in the eye of the public. You know what I mean? Oh, they'll just think that you just sit around and take the steroids and get big. No, you gotta fucking work. And they were banned out of pro sports. So there was this idea that they were illegal. They weren't illegal. You can get them. You could get them back then, and they were legal in California for a long time. And you can still get them today. You just got to get them prescribed to you. And I don't know, it depends state by state. You know, certain fucking Florida has the most liberal fucking regulations on that. You can get anything here. You can go to HRT clinic and get fucking all kinds of cool shit. So, the public was kind of brainwashed into thinking that they were somehow illicit or that it was cheating. It's just performance enhancement. And here's the thing, all their fucking football players and all their pro athletes and shit that they were worshiping on television, it doesn't matter fucking what sport it was, I would say even baseball, they were all using, all of them. They were just using different things. And they used them in the training season to get stronger, get bigger. And when the games would start, they'd come off all that stuff. They knew how to come off of it without fucking getting fat and shit. And then they go take their drug test. And they played the game not on junk. But when they were training, they were on steroids. And that applies to the fucking Olympics. Those little fucking 12 and 13-year-old fucking gymnast girls with those big old fucking square legs, they're fucking 4'10", doing all those fucking cartwheels and shit. You think that they weren't on Primo bowling? They were on fucking Primo. And those girls are 12, 10. They weren't on Primo for the event. They'd been off for a couple weeks, but when they were training, they were on all that stuff. So it's just rife with it. People got to grow up and understand that the technology's been out for fucking 100 years, and they're using it. That's all.
Like I said, I'm pretty sure nobody cares.
Nobody cares anymore, I don't think.
That much.
It's just part of modern technology.
Well, that's what I mean.
It's biotech.
Everybody's doing something.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Yeah, it's just biotech. Half of y'all are supposed to be dead anyway. Insulin keeping you alive. Fucking medical procedures. Pills. What, are you supposed to... Is that cheating? Yeah, it's cheating. Come off all that shit. Let's see you drop dead. You know you're not going to do that. There's biotechnology.
Well, it's like, why would you want to do that anyway? Because it's like, what, do you want to go back to the fucking Middle Ages where people died when they were fucking 35 from easily preventable infections?
Take your fucking false teeth.
That's not cool.
Take your fucking false teeth out and throw them away. Throw your fucking reading glasses away. You're cheating.
Yeah, I can do that, but everything will just be a big blur. I won't be able to see any of your like chats or
pull all those fucking fillings out of your teeth. That's cheating.
Yeah, I mean there comes a point where
stop using toilet paper. That's cheating. You should be wiping with your hand. Toilet paper's not natural.
Somebody said earlier, it's like, oh, remember like back in the 21st century when everybody's just using paper to wipe their ass? Yeah, gross.
Well, now they're using the 3 shells, like fucking.
Yeah, that's what they're
talking about. Yeah,
they're talking about the 3 shells.
Yeah, the 3 shells. Yeah, he knows what he's talking about.
The 3 shells.
Got to know the Demolition Man. The Demolition Man was prophetic. Fucking, that was a prophetic movie.
3 shells.
Yeah.
Lion X Warrior says, the Bobert MTG crew are coming for Halloween this year. Christian nationalist evangelicals are not having it. They need to go back to the fucking 80s where they belong. Actually, no, they need to fuck off this planet and go, like, get launched into the sun where they actually belong.
I don't really know what
They can come take my fucking Halloween when they pry it from my cold dead fingers, okay? Sorry. And you know what I mean? Halloween is, like, the second biggest holiday. How much do people in America spend on Halloween? Several $1 billion every single year? That shit's not going anywhere. Y'all, like, they can cry about it all they want. Like, oh, it's evil and shit like that.
That's all LARPing, man. Those people don't believe that shit.
Well, they know that there's some, like, toothless hicks, like, back in the fucking, some trailer park somewhere that believes it, so that's why they're saying it.
I don't even believe that they do. All those toothless hicks are that fucking... They're all down there.
Who the fuck doesn't like
biker bar, man?
Sorry,
they're looking at titties.
I don't trust anybody that doesn't like Halloween. I don't trust anybody that doesn't like. What the fuck is the matter with you if you don't like Halloween?
No, they're tripping. Well, what that is, first of all...
Did you see that? I was reading this article the other day about this crazy woman. Well, she wasn't old, but she was probably like younger than me, which is scary. But she was like going on about Hocus Pocus 2. And how that was on Disney Plus or whatever, and how that's like luring kids into Satanism or whatever. I'm like, oh my god, it's like the fucking 80s all over.
82.
Did we learn nothing?
82.
Did we learn nothing still? This is like the 21st century. Fuck off with that. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, that wasn't about anything even back then.
Jesus Christ. Yeah, that's what I mean. It was a bunch of crap even back then.
Yeah, that wasn't anything about that. There wasn't very many of those people, and they put them on television to magnify the fucking platform. And it spread to, like, your parents. Maybe they thought there was something to it. Maybe we should get rid of these Motley Crue albums. But they weren't paying attention. They were fucking... People are easy to panic. You can panic people very easily. They're doing it now. About all kinds of things. People are easily controlled by fear.
What's up, Pooky?
It erases their ability to think. So, no, whenever the fucking mass media comes at you with a fucking fear... It's always just to manipulate you. Don't believe them. It's all propaganda. And all that shit was propaganda. It's just a means of control. It's just that the people that owned the country weren't sure if they were going to use the right or the left as a means of control. They owned both sides. They just wanted to see which one was the easiest to control people with. The entire system's fake. It's fake and it's rigged.
Jeffy Art said,
Rich people run this, not you.
I went to I don't run shit.
Right, we don't run shit. We're just dealing with them.
I've known
and no matter who you
life.
vote for, it's a candidate they approved for, and it's in their pocket. Yeah.
Jeffy Art said, I went to a colonial village on a school trip where they revealed people used old corn cobs as toilet paper. Yeah, that's true.
That was before toilet paper.
Whole new meaning to cornhole. I mean, it's better than
that cornhole in them.
Not wiping your butt at all, but why a corn cob specifically?
Because they had them laying around.
I guess.
They had them laying around. They weren't good for anything else.
Better than a pine cone, I suppose.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
Tear your booty hole up. And then
now see what we were saying before about the Romans and like the sponge on the stick.
Yeah.
It's not so much the sponge on the stick that I'm mad at. It's the fact that you're using the same sponge on the stick for every motherfucker.
Yeah.
If you had a clean one every time, that would actually be pretty good.
And evidently, they would wash it off into the water and dude squeeze it.
Yeah.
Shit down into the water to clean it. So somebody's squeezing the...
So much disease.
Yeah.
Just thinking about it gives me a disease. I probably have some diseases right now just thinking about that shit. Man, I don't even like if I'm...
And here's the thing.
If I'm eating food and I have to pick up a piece of food with my hand like a piece of chicken or something, I don't even like the feel of like food on my fingers for like a minute.
I'm hardened to it.
Much less like squeezing from
the sponge.
Well, I always feel like, oh my God, I gotta wash my hands. Yeah. I'm like that.
And here's the thing: their cleaning solution was fucking piss. They would take piss,
which was probably the only thing that like saved them.
Yeah, they would turn it into ammonia and sell that as a cleaning solution. Evidently, it was real lucrative. If you owned a latrine or a public bathroom, you could get your hands on all that piss.
Yeah.
And they would
put
it through a process and turn it into a cleaning solution.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing was wasted.
Which is not crazy. I mean,
no.
Yeah, that's not crazy.
They separated it somehow. I don't know. They had some process to do it. But here's the thing. I'm not bagging on the ancient Romans. At that time, that was fucking cutting edge. They
were cleaner than all the other.
They were cleaner than everybody else, and they were a fucking very sophisticated society. If you read some of their best political writings, fucking political commentary, you'll see that it's like it was written by somebody today. You know what I mean? They were... They're educated people fucking had it together.
Yeah, they weren't dumb.
They even fucking would say things like, yeah, well, we must respect the gods because that holds society together. But we as educated people know that these gods were based on something that is probably long gone, probably rulers from the past, or they're based on concepts, and they're not really based on anything historical at all. But that's a very sophisticated thinking there. You know what I mean? That our religions are not based on anything other than just concepts.
Well, yeah, I told you I have a book called Free Thinkers by Susan Jacoby, and it was like pretty much like atheism throughout the ages.
Yeah.
And yeah, you'd be surprised like how far that line of thought goes thousands of ways. Like way back then, they knew. Mm-hmm. Like educated people knew that it was bullshit.
Yeah. No, they didn't say it was bullshit.
That's you know what I mean. They knew that it wasn't literally true.
It wasn't literal true. It was a way of teaching values and holding societies together because uneducated people needed to believe in things, and this is how you created unity inside of a diverse population. That's basically what they're talking about. Is that you need something to hold people together, a belief system. Without it, they all turn on one another.
Talking about the butt sponges, Ben says, that's untrue. The sponge on the stick got replaced every few months. It helped people build their resistance to disease, maybe. It probably did up to a point.
It's just, it's nasty.
But after a point,
it's nasty.
After that point, the shit's going to overwhelm your immune system. So that's why people didn't live that long. back then.
I think. Well, no. I think the rich people in general.
Well, rich people in general live a long
60s
time.
and 70s. They lived. They lived pretty good.
And the thing about it too, I think it's a little bit of a myth that people didn't live as long. I mean, poor people always died young. They still
died young.
But I think it's a myth that that people didn't live quite as long because the averages were skewed because a lot of people died in childbirth in like childhood.
They're factoring in infant mortality and the and mortality.
So that brings the average way down.
The average in Rome, I think, was 30. That life expectancy was 30. But what it was is the infant mortality was so high that the fucking brought the average down.
Well, and shit, that was up until the Victorian era, right? Because I mean, even well-known, very prominent families in the Victorian era, like it was very, very common for them to have like 8 kids, and then like only like 6 of them, 6 of them died, and like 2 of them lived to adulthood or some shit like that. And that was very, very common, even among families that were, wealthy for the time. So it brings the average down.
The main difference between today and Rome, well, okay. Today there would be a big difference, but let's just say the differences between Rome and the late 1800s was slight. Actually, there wasn't a big difference. The beginning of the Industrial Revolution actually was already happening in Rome. They had steam engines, they just didn't apply them because they had slave labor. They didn't need labor-saving devices. There was only a couple things that they could have built that would have helped them, but they guess they couldn't get investors. They never really could think about it. The 2 things that would have saved them was the steam locomotive. That would have really helped them out, because you could have gotten a Roman legion to the far regions of the fucking empire and fucking stopped barbarian attacks, which would have increased fucking what do you call it? Investment in the outer provinces, which would caused it to grow. So they really needed a steam locomotive. And then the other thing that would have helped them really, really well would have been the telegraph. But they didn't have a concept of electricity. But they probably could have figured that out. It wasn't far off.
Right.
But the steam locomotive, they had the technology. They knew all about it, but they never applied it to locomotion. They never thought of it. But they had the steam engines. They were using them. They were using them to do things like open and close doors to temples, using fucking water clocks so the temple doors would open and close at the set time.
Which is cool, but it's just funny that they couldn't take that like extra step and think like, oh, this has like a lot more applications.
Well, they may have been using steam engines to do things like fucking crush grain to make flour. That's another thing that could.
That's another good thing that you can use it for, sure.
But all you had to do is put that on wheels. They had wheels. If you put that on wheels, you could run something with it. And if you put those wheels inside of tracks, you'd now have a locomotive. And that would have helped them. But they never applied it. Their thinking wasn't like ours, I guess, in a certain way. They were just so tied up in slave labor. The rich people all had these huge tracts of land, and they were growing food and using German slaves. And it just depressed the economy. And it depressed the growth of technology.
Well, yeah, that's what I mean. When you don't have, when it's not necessary, like, to make these big, like, leaps in, progress, then they don't, they get comfortable. Like you said, they had people to do all that stuff.
Yeah.
And that didn't look like it was going anywhere, so they didn't really feel the need to, like, innovate in any other area.
Innovation and technology is always centered around labor saving. Okay.
Yeah, it's always a little bit out of necessity. I kind of feel like,
Yeah, we're like, we need to eliminate this motherfucker. He's too expensive. So we need to come up with this technology. And slaves were almost damn near free,
That's what I mean. So for a long time, that kind of like... And that's kind of the shitty thing, is that that might have suppressed... technology, like progress in technology, for a really long time, because nobody felt the need to, like, hey, we got people to do that, and they don't cost anything. Which is fucked up, but it's probably true.
Rome did weird things, like an emperor would come in and he'd free all the slaves, and then all those slaves would become citizens. They did resets all the time, but they never abolished it. So they never really got rid of the problem that was fucking oppressing, or suppressing the technological growth. Had an emperor come and abolished slavery, you would have had an industrial revolution. It would have happened, because you can't have slaves, so now you need labor saving devices.
You need to figure something else out.
You need to figure something out.
Right.
You need to make machines that do that work. And that would have started an industrial revolution. They already had a steam engine.
Earlier.
Much earlier. We would have been on a damn moon probably like at 400 AD.
We'd be living on the moon by now.
Yeah.
Just like the sci-fi movie said.
Well, think about it now. By the same timeline, we'd have been on the moon in fucking 200 AD.
That's what I mean. That's not weird.
No.
Because the shit that they figured out before the industrial
revolution, 200 years.
I mean, and the knowledge was always there. It's just they didn't figure it out for whatever reason.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's the science is always the same. They just needed somebody to figure it out.
Yeah.
And nobody did, because they didn't really need to. Oracle says, hi, Oracle. Oracle just showed up. You have to wonder what resources we have now that future people will shake their heads at our blindness about. I kind of wonder about that, too.
Well, the first thing is nuclear. You can do a lot with nuclear that we're not doing, because they're scared of it. Which is stupid, because you can make reactors fucking really fucking well nowadays if you start from scratch. There's a lot of older reactors out there, but you can make badass reactors right now. And there's a bunch of treaties about making against making nuclear powered aircraft. We made a few, but it was real old technology, like 50s technology. I'd imagine there's probably some secret nuclear aircraft out there. But, because there's different ways you can do it. So nuclear alone is not being tapped. Nuclear is not being tapped properly. That's the first thing. A lot of biotechs out there. A lot of it. That probably rewriting the fucking DNA in your system to make yourself grow younger. That's another thing. They might know about that, maybe. You would think that the super wealthy would be using it if they had it, because they'd be able to buy it. So maybe not. But if they had that, they wouldn't let that out, because it's in their vested interest to have a lot of us die, because we're kind of obsolete, and they want the population to drop so they can inherit the Garden of Eden, basically. You don't need all these obsolete farm workers and factory workers just walking around forever. They want us to age out, a lot of us. So immortality is probably possible, but they would keep that fucking under wraps.
Oracle says, I'll go you one better, Tom. What if nuclear waste is an untapped resource? What if future generations will wonder why we threw that away?
Yeah, that's probably true. Well, you got depleted uranium. You can use it as fucking a very dense fucking armor piercing weapon. There's all kinds of stuff, but there's all gonna be all kinds of weird shit we can do with things. That we're not doing.
I think that's maybe where we should be aiming some shit, is how to repurpose waste, stuff that's thrown away, whether it's nuclear waste or whether it's garbage or whatever. I kind of feel like that's probably a good.
Yeah, what's funny is that the nuclear stuff and the nuclear waste is fucking way blown out of proportion, because the Earth itself is jam-packed full of fucking uranium and fucking nuclear products deep down into the Earth. It's just everywhere. That shit's actually very common. You just have to learn how to dispose of it properly. You gotta drop it down something real deep and make sure it doesn't come back out there. But it's down there anyway.
Because then you get the Toxic Avenger, and nobody
you get
wants
Toxic
that.
Avenger. Yeah.
Although no, Toxic Avenger was like a superhero. So
but that shit, mining uranium is very dangerous. It's fucking, radioactive as shit. And that stuff's all down there fucking in the crust of the Earth. Space travel's getting cheaper and safer. Eventually you can just take that shit out into space and just fling it off. It won't make any goddamn difference. Fucking people
just put that over there.
You're dirtying outer space, man. You don't know what's out there in outer space. Outer space is a fucking dangerous, super highly radioactive fucking environment. That nuclear waste is nothing compared to what's out there. You're cleaning it up when you throw that shit out there compared to some of the high radiation shit.
Well, and I mean, space is really big too.
It's big, yeah.
I mean, so. Lionx Warrior said, really enjoying this. It's like a vintage 13 o'clock discussion.
Mm-hmm.
Is it? We didn't mean for it to be. But...
Yeah, sorry, yeah.
But that's what happens. Well, we're the same motherfuckers that we're always like talking about the same stuff, so you know what I mean. Jeff Howard said it seems like technology isn't pursued unless there's a mass monetary commercial value.
Bingo.
Yeah.
Bingo, exactly.
Which is kind of a shame, but
No,
what are you?
not really.
What are you gonna do?
That's the most reliable way. Is that somebody profits from it? So this is what we're gonna do, and that's the way it's always been. That goes back to sailing ships, and fucking exploring the earth, and trying to map the planet. That was all because of money. You know, they were trying to find passage to India, that kind of shit.
Oracle said all we need now is to talk about Pooky and Beijing and cooking.
No.
Why not?
Okay.
You know what's funny? I went down to do the laundry the other day, and Beijing was in the litter box, which is in the laundry room. And I went around with the basket, and then I saw her, and then I was like, ooh, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
And I went around like that.
Did she know you gave her privacy?
I guess.
Yeah.
And it's like, I just thought that was, I'd be like, oh, well, I'm sorry, sweetie. And I just hid in the back till she came out, and then she like kind of looked up at me. I'm like, it's cool. I didn't want to watch it. It's fucking weird. Oracle said, did I miss that? We did talk about Pooky earlier because she was
think she was playing with the toys.
She was playing with the toys in the back. Like I moved my chair so you could see her, but I think she fucked off over there.
She's gone now, yeah.
She ate some of the food over there and she was like, fuck this, I'm bored. And she like went away. I don't know where she went to. She maybe went downstairs to like beat up on Beijing, maybe.
The good thing about it is that I have that chicken already made down there.
Yeah, so you don't have to
Just
like
had to
worry
heat it
about.
up, yeah.
You're already thinking about food.
Yeah, I'm getting hungry, yeah.
He said he's already getting hungry.
Yeah, I'm getting hungry.
You are starting to look like Anton LaVey a little bit.
Yeah.
You gonna start doing
My
like
face is starting to get thinner too, because that fucking trend, that trend is eating a lot of fat out of me.
I wasn't sure that I would like the beard, but I kind of like it.
Yeah.
I kind of like it.
A lot of people are saying it looks good on me. Fucking Con of Otson says, yeah, that fits you, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It makes you look more evil. So that like kind of fits in with your personality.
All the biker fucking bartender girls fucking liked it. They're like, oh yeah, that's it. That's it. Facial hair. Yeah.
That's what you
That's
needed.
it. That's what. Yeah, the facial hair. Yeah. Yeah.
You went down to the biker bar yesterday, didn't you?
Yeah.
Was it yesterday?
Yeah. No, day before.
Or was it the day before?
Yeah, maybe it was just.
I think it was yesterday.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, it was yesterday because we didn't live stream yesterday.
Yeah.
And you said, oh, well, I can go out for a ride and be gone. And I said,
Yeah.
yeah, you don't have to be back at a certain time. So
Yeah, the
he was-
nighttime bartender came in.
So he was gone until like fucking I don't know. I'd already watched like most of the Shutter show, and I was like already like had a drink and everything
Yeah.
before he got back.
Nighttime bartender came in, and they're kind of and her husband came in there, and they're like in their late 20s, and they're kind of like a goth couple kinda, and kind of like a Tony and Aleda type situation, a little bit younger. And I showed them our pictures and shit, and they're like, oh yeah, and I showed them where Mannequins was, and fucking I sent them invites to go to Mannequins and everything, so they want to go to the club.
We'll have to take him to the Halloween party.
Oh, the thing is that she
Next
works on
Saturday.
Fridays and Saturdays.
That's what I figured.
Nice.
She's
yeah.
a bartender.
So she has to get those times off, and she's like one of their hot new top bartender girls. You know what I'm talking about? And the husband got to show up to keep an eye on her. You know what I mean? That was funny about it, but you know, I understand. It's kind of a dangerous place, you know.
Yeah, I don't know if I'd really want to bartend at a place like that. You know?
You have to be a certain type of girl to fucking Amy fucking has a great time there because she's a biker chick.
Yeah.
And she
So
pops
like
her
if you're
titties
into
out,
like
fucking-
that culture, then sure.
Yeah. She pops her
But
titties out.
If you're not, I wouldn't.
But she knows all the biker gangs and shit. You know what I mean? Nobody's gonna fuck with her. You're gonna have fucking 2 or 3 gangs coming out.
Yeah, it's got to be somebody like that.
Right. Yeah.
It's got to be somebody like that. I wouldn't put like.
You'll
just-
have the warlocks coming after you and the fucking banditos and shit. For you did what? So some of those girls are heavily protected.
Which, like I said, you'd have to be.
Mm-hmm. They're popular.
Oracle says, our cats went to the vet Wednesday. They both have kidney disease now.
Yeah.
They're winding down. They're brothers and 16 years old. Oh. That makes me sad. Don't make me think about it. I mean, Pooky's only 5, but still. Beijing is how old now? 12?
Yeah, about that.
12 or 13.
Oracle's talking about me being Ming the Merciless. Yeah.
I thought about that. I
That's
thought that would be a good costume too.
That's an expensive costume.
It is, yeah. Maybe next year when you
And the
can
thing
afford
is that the red one is the most recognizable one, but his coolest one was the black and gold uniform that Ming wore while he was watching fucking his daughter, Princess Aura, being tortured by the boar worms. He showed up in the black fucking outfit. Remember that one?
That was his like
That was
incesty
his
outfit.
Yeah, he's in his black outfit. He's eating the fucking little fucking hors d'oeuvres and shit while she's getting tortured.
He's like, yeah, I'm into this.
Yeah.
It's my fetish.
Yeah, and that tripped me out as a kid. I was like, this is a father and daughter, and like it's insinuating that they're getting it on. Isn't that that's what I picked up.
I mean, yeah.
Or did you pick up that vibe too?
But like I said, I guess that was.
She's just all over him and fucking. Oh, father.
Well, like I said, I guess that was kind of the way that they were going with that, because they were like aliens, so they were like degenerate.
Yeah, every Mingo or fucking whatever, you know. I think they called them Mingos.
Which is ridiculous.
The Mingos, yeah. Every one of them was fucking sexually perverted. They were into fucking BDSM and fucking all kinds of shit.
Well, see, I kind of feel like maybe
that was so much better than Star Wars. I was like,
well,
yeah,
because
that's right,
in
the
some
bad guys
ways,
are
if
fucking
it's
perverts.
sci-fi,
Yeah.
like if you make them aliens, then you can get away with a lot of salacious shit that you wouldn't be able to get away with if they were humans, because you're like, what? They're not even from this planet. That's just like what they do there.
Yeah.
What are you gonna do? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So you can like you can excuse it like in that way. I get it.
Although. I was reading an analysis of fucking Flash Gordon from the 20s to the 30s when it came out. The Mingos and Ming the Merciless and all that actually were metaphors or allegories for Europeans. What it is Americans showing up in Europe trying to show that they're good-hearted people and trying to get all these degenerate Europeans to stop fighting one another. That's what it was.
I could see that.
That's what they were actually talking about.
That's it. Yeah, that's
back in the 20s and 30s.
All these degenerate Europeans.
Degenerate Europeans without any morals.
With their stinky cigarettes and their 2-hour lunches.
Yeah, and just fucking everything that moves and all this kind of shit. You know what I mean? And then fucking Flash shows up, and he's actually a polo player in the original thing, and he's fucking, hey, my name is Flash, and they're all fucking.
I'm the most American that ever American.
Yeah, right. I have good morals. And
which is like
you guys need to all fucking band together against these tyrants.
It's just like so funny. It's just so
They're
funny.
Manipulating you
it's
guys.
so funny and like simplistic, like when you think about it. But like it's pretty obvious that that's what they're
these empires are using divide and conquer tactics. You need to gang up and get rid of these people so we can have a democracy. That's basically what they were talking about. We'll all get along in a republic.
Oracle says, Jenny, I have another book recommendation for you. The Bone Houses by Emily Lloyd-Jones. Spooky medieval Welsh novel about a family of undertakers. See, my interest is already peaked. I wrote it down, by the way. So I actually will get around to reading that. So thank you for the recommendation.
And
Mark says...
Eurotrash. Yeah, that's what they're talking about. Eurotrash.
Well, yeah.
Degenerates, those degenerates.
They're just jealous because the Europeans were having more fun than them. Mark said...
fucking there was a lot of wild shit going on in the United States, too.
Well, I know that, but Americans have... Probably not nowadays, but for a long time, Americans had a reputation among Europeans for being very puritanical, and, like, Europeans...
They probably were comparison.
That's what I mean. Had no patience for that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
They thought they were, like, super uptight. Mark said, my neighbors growing up had a cat that was possibly near 20 years old. And Oracle said, I've had a cat that made it to 20. Yeah, I've seen some cats like that lived into their 20s. It's not, it doesn't happen that often, but it does happen. We had some friends that had a cat that was 22, 23 when she died. I think something like that. But like I said, I know Pooky's only 5, but that's like something that I think about a lot. It's like, man, she needs to like live a really long time. She does.
Yeah, I know.
What?
I'm busy.
She's like, but brushy.
Yeah.
She's over there by the... I have a bathroom, and then there's like a little dressing area there that has like a sink and like a closet and stuff. And that's where I keep Pookie's it used to be my hairbrush, but she kind of like took it. So when she wants brush, she goes over there and like looks at me and yells, and then jumps up on the sink and is like, "Hey, come brush me." So that's what she just did. Tom got up and she was like, and she went over there and was like, "Barr! Hey, brushy." And then yeah, I don't know, man. I told her earlier, I was like, man, she loves that brush more than anyone has ever loved anything. I don't understand it. She will just lay there for ages and just let me brush it. It's just like a regular fucking, it's a human hairbrush. I have gloves too. Like I have those little gloves that have like the, you know, that you pet the cat and it's like got a brush on it. I got those too, and she kind of likes those, but her favorite thing is just this cheap fucking $5 hairbrush that I've had like forever. And, you know, I had to buy a new hairbrush because now that one's all full of her hair, but you know what I mean? Let's see. Camp Guy said, I have a 15-year-old cat, but we live out in the woods away from traffic. Yeah, Beijing is, I think she's 12 or 13, I think. She goes outside, but Pooky doesn't go outside anymore. She doesn't like to go outside since we moved to the new house, which is fine with me. She jumps up on the window and looks outside, but she doesn't want to go outside anymore, and that's fine. She used to go outside at the old house, and I used to worry about her all the time, so I'm glad that she's scared of it. I don't know why. I think it's because maybe our neighbor has dogs, and she's scared of dogs, so she doesn't like to go outside because she thinks, oh my god, dogs, you know what I mean? So she'll like sit up on the windowsill and look outside, but she doesn't go out. Beijing will go out, but she usually just sits on the back porch, and that's... What? What? What's the matter? What's the matter? What are you talking about? What are you talking about? Come up here. What are you talking about? She comes in here like yelling and shit like that. I don't know what she's yelling about. Yeah, Oracle said our guys are strictly indoor cats. We have hawks in the area. Yeah, I'm like really, really worried about it. I didn't really like it. Like I said, I didn't like it when she went outside at the old house, but she would just like cry and cry and cry. She wanted to go outside. And she mostly stayed in the backyard, but sometimes she would go like way down to the pond, which was like 2 or 3 houses down. Sometimes she would like kind of wiggle under the fence and go into the... It wasn't the road. It was like, that was far, but she would go like into, there was like a little, like a walking path back there. And sometimes she would go and hide in the bushes back then. We'd have to go like dig her out. But I don't know. Since we moved to the new house, she absolutely does not want to go outside anymore. And I think that happened when we were still at our old house. I went to St. Augustine for a few days on vacation, and Tom stayed home with Pooky, and while I was gone, Pooky was outside and a new neighbor moved in at our old house, and the new neighbor had a dog, and the dog was like really friendly, and the dog was like, oh hey, look, a little kitty, and like came over to meet her, and Pooky freaked out. She freaked out so bad that she had a little bit of a panic attack and started trying to get into the house. How many houses down was the house that Pooky was trying to get into? And like 2 houses down? Yeah. She went to the front door and was like, let me in. Oh my God. Like the dog is like, and Tom had to go 2 houses down and be like, this is my cat, sorry. Like she thinks this is her house because she panicked. Yeah. And she like, her little foot got messed. It was fine. She's fine.
Yeah, come on.
But
we give her a little bit of brush.
Yeah, he's gonna brush her because she keeps yelling. She keeps yelling.
She's being good.
But so since that time, like she wounded her foot a little bit. Like I think her little claw, like a back claw on her back foot, like got wounded while she was running, and like it didn't break or nothing like that. But it's fine. But it hurt for a little while. But after that, she lost all her enthusiasm about going outside, and she now is terrified of dogs. So I think because the neighbors here have dogs, and they're outside sometimes, like in the fence, like right next, like she doesn't want to go outside because she just like hears them and she's like, ooh, fuck that shit.
She's better off as a house cat.
And that's what I'm saying. It's like that makes me a lot happier. Like Beijing, she's been going outside for years and years, and she usually like just sits on the back porch and it's fine. But Pooky, I always worried about her.
Yeah.
Like when we were at the old house and she insisted on going outside, I didn't like it.
Out here, the danger isn't those dogs, though.
No, I'm not worried about the dogs.
Just any dogs, really. Statistically, the dogs are not the problem. Statistically, the problem are eagles. Eagles,
Well, yeah.
Eagles and owls. They'll grab it.
And getting hit by a car. I'm worried about that too.
Statistically, eagle.
Yeah. Well, that's what Oracle was saying, that
Being
she
in
was
and out of
more
those
worried about
barns.
hawks. Yeah.
Working in those barns where there's always barn cats, you got to replace a barn cat every 4 or 5 years. Eagles get them. And then there was a time where we had to replace a cat once a year, I think. That went on for like 2 or 3 years in a row.
I can't.
And that was here, just up the road, at that one that I was working at back in 2008.
That's what I'm saying. I'm not.
Every year had to replace the barn cats.
I'm not risking it.
Because you got to have a barn cat.
Yeah.
Keep shit out of the barn. And here they were fucking keeping spiders out. That barn was infested with spiders the size, they were that big. Big old fucking hunting spiders, wolf spiders.
My grandpa's house used to have some spiders that size.
I'd come in to start fucking feeding up the horses and put them out. Give them their medicine in the morning. There's about fucking 20 of them, 20 horses. And in the center of the aisle of the fucking barn, if you walk down that center aisle, you probably 1, 2, 3, and that cat would kill 4 of those spiders a night. Because they were all up in the ceiling.
Yeah.
And they'd come down, she'd get them all night long. There was lots of them in there.
See, that's the funny thing about Pooky too, is that if a spider or a roach or something gets in the house, Pooky will absolutely warn you about it.
Yeah.
She's like, monster, you guys, and she'll like fucking jump around and like. She doesn't want to touch it because she's grossed out, but she'll like.
I'd be falling asleep in a damn man cave and had her run up on me, just little feet. And I'm going, what the fuck? And I was sleeping on a damn fucking mat one time. I had a little camping mat I was sleeping on in a sleeping bag. Listening to my headphones, that way Jenny can go to sleep without me waking her up, because I'll fucking start yelling and fucking talking in my sleep and shit sometimes. And these little feet are fucking hitting me and shit. And I'm looking, and she's fucking stepping on me with 3 feet, and then the fucking hand, she's boom, boom, smacking.
She's like,
looking at me.
look.
And she's trying to hold. She's got a little palmetto bug, and she's trying to stun the palmetto bug. It's coming for you. It's coming for you, Daddy. Anyway, it was, I guess. She was trying.
She's very protective.
Yeah, she said, it's coming for you. So I'm like, what? What the fuck? I could get up and fucking grabbed a damn knife and fucking killed it. And then had to scoop it up with damn toilet paper, doing that shit naked. Swinging. Trying to fight the damn palmetto bugs.
Which is it's really
Fucking is what happens. That's what Florida is. One time in that old house, these are nice fucking houses. It's just that you got all this glass and sliding glass doors and shit. And this is Florida.
Florida is just like
It's
crawling
Dagobah.
with bugs,
And alligators and bears.
lizards and alligators, bears,
yeah,
deer,
and this is happening.
everything.
And this is happening in upper middle class, higher class suburbs. This is not even the country.
I mean, you
suburbs.
can't keep that shit out.
Yeah, it lives with you.
The outside will come inside at some point.
We were in this beautiful suburb, probably a fucking 500-pound bear. Its shoulder would just come up to about this tall. See that? There's all kinds of stuff. I'm in there working on the bike, and the fucking bear look around the corner at me and I said, "What's up, man?"
Well, what you doing?
So what's up, man? I always greet the bear because they'll run. They'll run from you if you greet them. You don't want to run from them. They might chase you. Okay.
Because you're acting like a prey animal.
You go, "What's up, bear? What you doing? Come on in. Come on in. Hey, what you doing?" They're like, "Oh," then they start running.
Wait, I can't eat that, dude.
Yeah. But I was laying up in the bed next to her and fucking woke up like that, and fucking one of them fucking palmetto bugs was running across my chest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It happens sometimes.
Yeah. And you got to be careful. I would fucking got in the habit of fucking leaving like a soda
Yeah, don't do
with
that.
ice
Don't do
on
that.
the fucking nightstand. Wake up and fucking drink that shit. One morning I woke up, fucking went to go get a drink, looked down, there's a dead palmetto bug in it.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. No more fucking soda on the side of the bed because I was drinking that shit fucking in the middle of the night.
Yep.
And I never got hit, but luck. you know, because they'll go down there to get a drink and fall in.
Yeah.
And who knows how many times they went in there and got a drink and successfully
And
came
got out, and you didn't know.
And I didn't even know.
That's what I'm saying.
Right.
That's why I don't leave drinks on the side. Like, I'll take a drink in there with me at night, like usually ice water.
Yeah.
So I can drink it like while I'm watching a movie or whatever. But I just like I drink it all and I just leave it empty.
Yeah.
I don't leave anything in there.
And these aren't German cockroaches.
Yeah, they're big.
They're big, man. These are fucking palmetto
they're
bugs.
like that big.
They live in these
Inch or two.
palmetto trees, and then they come into a house. They can smell it. They got a real good sense of smell, big long antennas. And they can smell if you got food out. And a house is no defense. They'll come right underneath. They can squeeze right in between sliding glass doors. Where they
I mean, if you can get a piece of paper under a door, then they can get under a door.
They'll come right into your front door. You know, even if you have weather stripping, they'll just push that out of the side.
Yeah,
They'll
there's
right
like,
in.
whatever. I
Like
don't
no
care.
big deal. Okay.
I'm a roach. I'll go where I want to.
Right. So you'll see most Florida houses, especially in the kitchen, where you keep food pantries and where your pots and pans are. Inside those cupboards, in the corners, you'll see little roach traps, poisons. Not traps, poison. And that's a good sign. That's not a bad sign, it's a good sign. It's a bad sign if you don't have that. That means you're probably going to get an infestation. It's a good sign if you do have that, because you're stopping an infestation from ever happening. Because they constantly come in. I bet you every week there's probably 2 or 3 of them that come in. And they find that poison first because you're leaving it out. They eat that and they die. There's never an infestation if you do that.
I mean, I feel like
skill.
The new house isn't too bad because you don't get too many bugs coming to the second floor. Like every now and then you find some shit like downstairs.
Yeah.
But it's not like the old place, which was all one floor.
I'll find every now and then you'll find them in pieces out here in the hallway.
Well,
That's the cats kill them.
Beijing likes to tear them up.
Tear them up.
Pooky is grossed out by them, which I don't blame her because I am too. But
she smacks him and starts crying.
She'll smack him and like start yelling please come kill it. Look. Like she tries to like warn us about it.
Yeah.
But Beijing won't. She'll just she'll just kill it and eat most of it and then like leave a leg or like a head or something.
Yeah.
Like Beijing will do it. She doesn't give a fuck.
She'll let you know I killed one.
Yeah. Yeah, and then like you'll get up the next morning and she kind of like looks over there and just like there's a roach leg.
See it?
Like
it's part of it.
It's part.
She ate the other part.
Right. I'm like, Pooky won't though. She thinks they're disgusting.
Yeah.
But she'll warn you about them though, which, like I said, that's kind of her job. I kind of feel like she feels like her job is guarding mommy and daddy
from palmetto bugs.
From palmetto bugs, and also from Beijing coming upstairs.
Yeah.
Her big thing, like I'll get up in the middle of the night to go to the bathroom.
Not allowed up here.
Yeah.
That's fucking funny.
Well, Beijing will come up here that like she always feels like she's sneaking.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I'll see her like every now and then I'll be in the office and I'll look around the corner and I'll see Beijing.
Yeah.
And she'll be like she's not supposed to be here and I'm like, "Hey, pretty girl." And she's just kind of like am I in the wrong place? And then Pooky like hears me and she's like, "Oh, that bitch is up here." And then starts, because Pooky kind of feels like this is her
Michael's
territory.
asking, does AC in Florida keep your house at least down to 75, 77? You can get it down to fucking 70, but it'll cost you. This house is nowhere near as expensive as I thought. This house is actually cheaper to cool than our one-story house that we had. I think it had because it has less glass. And
that's probably a big.
And we have 2 central units.
Well, that's probably also a big factor.
So they're not working very hard. So not running all the time. In this house, I think we set it at what, 74? 73.
Yeah, 70. I think it's at 73.
I think it's 73. And it's 73 in this house feels nice and cool. In
some of the rooms.
Most of the rooms, for me. 73 would have felt really hot in the other house because it had so much glass. I mean, it was a pretty house. It was just a pretty modern house like you'd see when you're looking at fucking Florida porn. You know, fucking porn. When you see porn today, most of that shit's in Florida. They're out in those
that's his.
Yeah, that's
like
it. You guys
baseline.
know what it looks like. You see it all the time. Okay, you just fucking when Angela White's out there in the fucking backyard, the fucking beautiful backyard, and the fucking pool and shit, and then they go in the house and shit. Those are Florida houses, newer ones. They have. It was it was back like 10, 15 years ago. It was very much in style to build those houses with lots and lots of glass. They gave them kind of a tropical appearance.
Because like, oh,
they're pretty.
Like, it's inside and outside at the same time. But yeah, it also makes it like much harder to cool the shit.
Yeah, you gotta. That was during a time when energy was a lot cheaper, I think, to cool that. Now that shit went up. The newer ones have less glass in them and more cinder blocks, because a lot of it's cinder block. It has to be because of the hurricanes.
Well, yeah,
cinder block stays a lot cooler.
This house is cinder block on the ground floor and on the second floor, which you don't see a lot. Usually, the ground, even if the ground floor is cinder block, a lot of times the second floor will just be wood. But this one is cinder block all the way up, and it also has a front door that opens
inward, like a damn trailer,
which is unusual. But that's one of
the new hurricane
that's what the new hurricane standards like to keep prevent the door from blowing in or blowing out or whatever.
Blowing out, no. Hey, keep it from blowing in. It opens out.
Yeah.
Like a fucking trailer instead of...
Right. Instead of opening
It's tacky, if you ask me, but...
But that's how... Well, no, that's how they do it. It's like a safety thing. And the thing about it is that this house... This office where we're live streaming from is usually cold. It's usually like so cold in here that I have to wear a jacket. But the bedroom is usually kind of warm.
And I think it's because it didn't have an overhead fan.
It doesn't have a ceiling fan, which is unusual because most fans in modern houses in Florida have ceiling fans.
It's got a big sloped ceiling, and there's no ceiling fan installed in it. I could put one in there, but we got a solution. We got one of those little tall.
Yeah, I just got like a tall column fan.
You just put it on, and it's small enough to go on the nightstand.
Yeah.
And it blows right across that bed.
And it goes. Woo.
Yeah, and it was only $40, and it looks nice.
Yeah, I got a $40 fan, and it was even like one of the safer ones that it's like, because I was worried about it. It's like, well, I don't want Pooky going in there like sticking her fucking paw into the shit, because you know how she does about anything that's new. She's like, ooh, what's this thing? Yeah. But the one I got was like, touted as like being safe for pets and babies and stuff like that. So it worked out good.
It's chilly in there now with that fucking fan.
It worked out good. It's very, very powerful. Like I said, for only $40. And like I said, it's just...
Doesn't make any noise?
It sits on the nightstand. It's pretty quiet.
Yeah.
Too.
It's probably about...
It's about 3 feet tall.
3 feet tall, but it's only that... The footprint's only that big on it.
Yeah, it's got like a base about that big, and then it's just kind of like a column.
Looks like a big old air freshener, if you ask me.
It does.
And it kind of moves
and it oscillates
side to side like that,
too. I mean, if you want it to, you can just have it be still, but we have it oscillating. Because like I said, I can't...
big around as that glass?
Yeah, I can't really sleep if it's hot. And I had been having trouble sleeping in that room because I'm like, it's kind of stuffy in here.
Yeah.
And so I'd always been like kicking the covers off, and I was like waking up all the time. It's been better since I got that fan.
Yeah, thanks, Sly. Sly's saying I'm looking good. That's my new trend stack. I got a week left. Then I'm going on a Winstraw fucking site. Gotta get these last fucking pounds off. And then once I get where I want, I'm just gonna maintain it after that. It'll be easy. It's always the losing part, the losing and gaining. That's the hard part. Once you get to where you want to go, it's easy to maintain. But it's, it's a lifestyle.
Jeffy Art said, a palmetto bug crawled into my apartment once. I trapped it in a coffee can and tried to carry it outside. It escaped and crawled up my arm. Yeah. Flung it off so hard outside that it exploded on impact. Do you know what I had happen one time? And this was a long time ago. This was at my grandmother's old house in Daytona. I went in there and I was getting a shirt out of my closet that had a pocket in it. And I put the shirt on, and a fucking palmetto bug crawled out the pocket. While I was... Oh, my God. I had a fucking heart attack. I'm a lot better about it nowadays. For a long time, I just could not even deal with them. Because you have to think, too, that it's I grew up here. I was born in Daytona Beach, Florida. I've lived in Daytona most of my life. And the houses I grew up in... they weren't infested, but you got roaches on a pretty regular thing, and I was never able to get used to them. So I was always, it'd be like a thing where you'd wake up in the middle of the night and you'd hear,
They'd snuck in.
And you'd hear that. Like, you could... They're so big that you can hear their fucking legs as they walk across your wall. And then I'd wake up and be like, fuck, no. And, like, sometimes... Like, one night, and I still remember this clearly, I woke up one night, and I heard that, and I was like, shit. I was like, do I really want to turn the light on and see where this fucking bitch is? And then all of a sudden, I felt... Boop.
Landed
Oh, wait, and it landed right in between my tits.
Damn.
Oh, my God, I flipped out. I was like, blah! And I, like, jumped out of bed, and I was like, I slept on the couch that night. No, thank you. No, thank you. Ugh, so gross. Fucking gross.
Yeah, it's a constant battle. They're trying to get in.
Yeah.
Although, look, it's not as bad as it was when I was a kid. I remember going to Mississippi to visit my dad in the summertime. And the fucking bugs were fucking, 100 times what they are now. Every fucking every light over a parking lot was a swarm of fucking bugs at night going around.
Yeah, I remember the
that?
bug lights outside my grandma's
Bug
house.
lights outside the damn, those bug zappers outside the back of every house just constantly going pop, 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 pop. Snapping and killing all those fucking bugs. Cicadas. Giant fucking cicadas. Then you'd have also in the summer these huge black grasshoppers, called them locusts. They'd be black with yellow stripes on them. Those things were everywhere. Yeah, it was just in the 70s. It was fucking mind-boggling. It's nowhere near as bad as it was. So we cry about it and complain about a fucking occasional palmetto bug, but it was nothing what it was in the 70s. The 70s, it was just like the Pantanal, which is like in Brazil, in fucking Amazon basin. It's like that. Fucking, and we got places that look like that not far from here. Look like a damn swamp, Fucking water and fucking trees and shit. What it is, like Dagobah. You can put all the pretty houses and golf fucking courts. There's a huge golf court here, golf course here at Black Bear Reserve. We saw a bear the other day on the back porch too. Big bear. Probably about, 350-pound bear. Bigger than a man. Walking across the back porch. Hanging out, looking for stuff to eat. But it's nowhere. Yeah, it was out on the back. But no, I'm telling you, it was nothing compared to what it was in the 70s when it came to the bugs. How bad it was back then.
Well, that's mostly what I remember. Well, I don't know about 70s, but I'm mostly remembering like 80s.
Yeah, even the 80s, it was bad.
Yeah.
It was fucking... There was a lot more of them. I don't know why. I think maybe because it wasn't as densely populated, and so the bugs are getting killed at a higher rate. And maybe it might have something to do with pesticides, killing them off. But it used to be like the Amazon basin here.
Yeah, I remember
Lots
that.
of them. Yeah.
I remember that. Every summer. God, we dreaded summer. I mean, we dreaded summer for lots of reasons.
Yeah.
Mostly because of
bugs.
Summer. But,
bugs.
because of bugs.
Remember how big those fucking huge black locusts with the fucking yellow stripes in them, they'd attack you?
Yeah.
With their wings, they go, threaten you and shit from the ground, like, fuck you. And you try to crush them, and they would crack and pop. It was like stepping on a fucking... Oh, it was like stepping on a crawdad.
Yeah,
their shells were so hard.
They were massive.
Yeah, their shells were so hard. It was like stepping on a crawdad.
I stepped on one by accident
Yeah.
sometime, and I still remember that shit. Like, I was taking a walk, and I guess I was, like, talking or something, and I didn't realize.
Yeah.
And then the person I was with was like, you realize you just stepped on one of those big fucking giant. And I was like, what? I was like, oh, my God, I was so gross out.
And they had cicadas that were bigger than mice. They were, like, that big. They were that big and, like, that big around. Huge. Big wings on them, and they had fur. That's the only bug I've ever seen that had fur. They'd be kind of like a light green on the top, and they'd be tan on the bottom, or fucking white on the bottom. White fur on the damn bug. Remember that?
Yeah.
It was like a fine fur. Creepy. Those fucking eyes sticking off either side, and their fucking wings on it.
Yeah,
you had people, no, don't kill it. They'd be like, don't kill it. That's a 12-year locust. You remember that fucking... They call it 12-year locust.
To be honest, I'm not bothered by any bugs other than cockroaches. I'm not bothered by spiders. I'm not bothered by bees. I'm not really even bothered by wasps. I don't want them like fucking making a nest in my, because wasps did make a nest in my in my car, like where you open the thing to put the gas in. Mm-hmm. There was a little wasp nest in there, which I was very surprised to find, like when I went in there to like put some gas in one day. But you know, that was a little alarming.
Yeah. Somebody said that they had a roach chewing on their leather jacket in Florida.
They'll eat anything. They'll eat anything.
I fell asleep in front of the TV at my friend's house in Mississippi. Fucking, he had a nice fucking house. Everything is, you know, this is not a fucking shack. This is a fucking beautiful house. Fell asleep in front of the television watching shit like fucking Poltergeist and stuff. When I was a kid, I fucking and woke up, felt something pulling on my finger, and there was a fucking palmetto bug eating my fingernail. I was like, whoa! And he went running off like that.
That sounds about right.
Ran underneath the television. Yeah.
They will eat anything.
Yeah.
They will eat paper. They will eat wax. They will eat soap. They will eat anything. Yep. Anything. Well, that's why I learned, like, when I was young, because of, and like I said, we had a clean house. It was just, you can't keep them out. Yeah. You had to, like, you couldn't have bar soap. Don't leave the bar soap out because the roaches will come out at night and eat it. You can't leave. You had to put everything in, like, drawers. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I even caught some, like, eating paper at, like, books. Like, on your bookshelf, they'll eat that. If you leave wax candles out, they'll come out at night and eat those. So, holy shit.
Anything that they can chew is food.
Anything.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter.
It's
they'll
like
eat
that
anything.
movie Damnation Alley. Remember that?
They'll eat anything.
The sci-fi movie Damnation Alley.
That's why they've lived so fucking long.
Yeah. Yeah, they'll outlive humanity. Those fuckers. They can survive on anything.
My ex-husband used to be so weirded out by them that he's like, he wouldn't let me put any candles out. If we put candles out, he had to like wrap like plastic wrap around them.
Really?
He was worried that like
the roaches would eat them.
The roaches, which, you know, he's probably right. Yeah, they do.
Who cares though?
Well,
I don't really care.
I don't want to get up in the middle of the night and like there be. Well, I especially don't want to get up in the middle of the night and go in the bathroom.
Her ex was from Wales, so they probably tripped him out. They don't have big old palmetto bugs in Wales.
No,
probably not.
No.
Okay.
You know what's funny is that when my ex-mother-in-law came to Florida to visit us one time, the thing that she wasn't weirded out by the I mean, she was weirded out by the bugs, but I think the thing that she was weirded out the most about was the lizards.
Really? Lizards bothered her.
Like, she wasn't grossed out, but she just thought it was like so weird that like every time you went outside there was like lizards running around.
Yeah,
everywhere.
they run from you.
She's like, oh my god, it's like Spain, because she'd been to Spain, and they said they kind of have that there too. But yeah, I mean,
you go outside and fucking.
In the summertime, there's lizards everywhere.
Yeah, every time we go outside this house or any other house that we've had here, as soon as you step outside, 30 lizards run.
I like them though; they're cute.
Yeah, they keep the fucking pests down. They're killing stuff.
Yeah,
they're eating stuff.
Well, yeah, they eat bugs.
They eat each other. That's another thing. You'll see a lizard that'll be that big, a little tiny tadpole type lizard. And I was watching one of them run, and another lizard ran by it, and it fucking ate it.
Yeah, they're also
cannibals.
They're cannibals.
I didn't realize that they were cannibals.
Well, they'll eat anything that's smaller.
Anything that's moved. Yeah,
they're like, hey, they're opportunists.
Yeah,
they're not gonna worry about it.
Yep.
But like I said, honestly, any animal that will eat a palmetto bug is okay by me. Those are really the only animals that I really don't have any time for. That's why I like spiders, because spiders eat other bugs. You know what I mean?
I found all kinds of weird shit here, cleaning out stalls, and found coral snakes. Deadly coral snake. They don't get very big, though.
I had a coral snake run over my foot at my grandma's house once. I was walking down the stairs, and the coral snake just went, like, I was like, oh, no.
Yeah, they're deadly.
It didn't bite me, but...
They're not aggressive. And their fangs are kind of far back in their mouth, so that they can't really get a bite on you, and they don't bite people unless you would really ask for it.
Most snakes won't. I kind of feel like, well, that's what because I mean, my grandma used to, as soon as she saw a snake, even if it was a harmless one, if she saw a snake in the garden, she was gonna kill it. She would cut its head off with a shovel. And I'm like, can you please not do that? Because a lot of times...
that's a rat snake. What are you doing?
That's what I mean. It's like a lot of times they eat pests, which is better overall. Even if they're poisonous, or venomous, I should say, they won't bite you unless you fuck with them.
Yeah.
They're small. You're big. Yeah. So they're not going to bite you unless you, like, are trying to catch it. That's usually... People that get bitten by snakes, 9 times out of 10, they were trying to catch that snake. Yeah. Or sometimes, unfortunately, people are kind of, like, doing yard work and they accidentally, you know, fuck
I fucking
with the snake.
run into a lot of them. Rattlesnakes, fucking sidewinders out in California. Sidewinders out in the desert. Rattlesnakes, fucking lots of cottonmouth, which is like a...
Yeah, we got those.
It's like a water moccasin.
Yeah, we got those here too.
Lots of those. And they all give warnings. Fucking,
yeah.
You know what I mean? Fucking, they try to look as poisonous as possible. And you're like, okay, all right, let you go. And then they leave.
Yeah, like if you get... And I'm not victim blaming. I'm just saying, because sometimes it does happen by accident. Because I've known a couple people that were like just doing yard work and they stuck their hand in a bush or something like that, and there was a snake in there, they didn't know about it, and then they got bit. But most of the time, 99% of the time, somebody's trying to catch the snake or kill the snake or fuck with the snake in some way, and then the snake bites them.
For a snake to produce that venom, it's very calorie costing for them to make that venom.
Yeah, they don't want to have to do that.
They need that to fucking survive. They use little small amounts of it to paralyze small creatures, all right? And they don't want to bite anything fucking big and get in trouble.
Yeah, because they can't eat you.
Most people that do get bit by cottonmouth or rattlesnakes, they get venom injected into them, but it's usually a warning shot, which is enough to cost you a limb, okay? But they usually don't give you a full amount. My dad got bit by a rattlesnake. It was a... diamondback out in California.
Yeah, we have those here too.
Yeah, he got bit in the finger. He was trying to catch it.
Yeah, well, see, there you go. Like, don't do that, pro tip.
It got him, but it gave him a fucking... It was kind of a glancing blow, and it was a warning strike. And he was able to get it all out of there. It swelled out a little bit, but then it evened out a couple days later. It didn't start eating the flesh away. People think that you get bit and then you die. No, it's not what it's like.
No.
You get bit and it's like somebody injected fucking sulfuric acid into you. It eats holes in you.
Yeah.
You know when you got a good bite. It's not a, oh my God, you know what I mean? I've been injected with cyanide. No, that shit eats you up. It's an open wound.
Yeah, it takes a while.
Fucking, yeah, it's bad.
And most of the time, if you can get to a hospital in a reasonable amount of time, you probably won't die. But it's not going to be a fun experience.
Well, usually most people by fucking rattlesnakes don't die at all.
No, it's
even
not.
Even a pretty full strike. And even without treatment. It's just that it eats a huge fucking hole in you. And
yeah, you don't want to leave it.
No, you don't want to leave it. It eats a hole in you, and we're talking about like the hole that would be like the size of a softball or a baseball. That's how big it is. The size of an orange.
It's a big hole.
Bad. And it fucking shit will blow up. And then infection could set in, and a doctor later on was like, "We got to amputate that arm."
Yeah,
so,
I kind of feel like that's
like
probably
that.
That's probably what would happen.
Yeah,
that's probably what would happen. I mean, I don't. Nobody in my family has ever been bitten by a snake, but my brother was bitten by a brown recluse spider on his knee, and. That didn't go so well because he didn't go to the doctor for a really long time. It bit it on his knee. He didn't really know about it or didn't really do anything about it. And it swelled up, and you could see I still remember this like it was yesterday. You could see the blood poisoning going up his thigh. Like you could see the red like going all the way up his thigh like that. And it's like finally he went to the doctor and they're like, bitch, why did you take so long to get here? If this had got to your heart, you'd be dead.
Yeah.
So
Glenn Little chimed in, corrosive enzyme. Yeah, exactly. It's corrosive enzyme. Now, I don't know. I've run into Egyptian cobras when I was in Egypt. Saw them. It was not an aggressive snake, and it ran from us. And looking at it, I thought it looked like a fucking harmless black garden snake. It was big. That's what it looked like a big, harmless black garden snake running fast. And we ran alongside it. We didn't want to catch it, but we ran alongside it to look at it.
Yeah, just leave him alone.
And then it left. Now, I don't know. I've heard that its bite is fucking deadly. But I don't know if it's a corrosive enzyme or something kind of like cyanide or that kills you. I don't know.
I'm not sure about cobras. I think
a cobra paralyzes your ability to breathe. I think that's how.
I think that's the case. Yeah.
Which is so they're all going to be a little bit different. Here in the South, it's going to be cottonmouth and fucking rattlers, and it's a corrosive enzyme. It's like fucking being injected with acid.
We have cottonmouth. Yeah. We have eastern diamondback,
coral
rattler, coral snake, and water moccasin.
Yeah, which is a water moccasin is kind of like a
it's a different species though. Those are They're 4. Similar. I mean, we learned this in elementary school because I'm from here, and you learned in elementary school those are the 4 venomous snakes that are here and that you always had to look out for. Also, you have to look out for the king snake, which looks like a coral snake but is not venomous.
Yeah, red and black a friend of Jack. Red and yellow killed a fellow.
Yeah. That's what they taught us when we were kids.
If the red stripe touches the yellow stripe, that's a fucking coral snake.
Right.
If the red stripe touches the black stripe, it's a false.
Then it's
snake.
A king snake.
It's a king snake. Red and black, friend of Jack.
But see, king snake evolved to look like a coral snake. It didn't have to evolve the venom because it looks like a coral snake, so everyone avoids it as though it was one. But the stripe pattern is slightly different.
Red and black, friend of Jack. Red and yellow, killed a fellow.
Yeah, that's what they. That's
all you gotta know.
I remember them teaching us that in like elementary school, like I said. Because, like I said, I'm from Florida, so they had to teach you all the venomous snakes, all the venomous spiders, all the venomous. It's like Australia, kind of. It's not quite as bad as Australia, but
Australia got damn bullet ants and shit.
Yeah,
even their bugs.
We're not quite that bad.
Even their bugs are evil in Australia. But you got to be a man to survive evil. Even the women got to be a man to survive in Australia. But
it's kind of a similar thing. It's kind of a similar thing.
Now, out of them all here in Florida, the least lethal, least dangerous one, the less riskiest one is a moccasin. I've never heard of anybody actually being bit by a moccasin.
I haven't either. Now that you mention it.
Yeah.
Thought
now there's something else out here that'll fuck with your mind that you swear to God is a poisonous snake. It's called a puff adder, and it fucking blows itself up to the biggest fucking snake. Makes all kinds of huffing and puffing and fucking puts on this huge display. It's not poisonous, and it looks.
Well, see, I feel like
it looks like a water moccasin, but it isn't. It's a puff adder.
And usually, any animal, no matter what it is, that has to like make a big show. Of it is usually not.
Yeah, it's bluffing.
Venomous.
But its mouth will open up like it's fucking a huge poisonous mouth, and sometimes it'll get desperate and turn on its back, so you see a yellow underside, and it starts writhing like it's dying. And that's like when it's really freaking the fuck out. You're like, okay, all right, man, I'm gonna let you go. You know what I mean? I can't take it.
Just on the safe side, it's probably better to like not fuck with anything.
Yeah, puff adder
in Florida. Because not only do we have all that stuff, but we also have like mosquitoes that have encephalitis. We also have ticks.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? There's all kind of just don't go outside. Just
alligators.
Shit, I was just watching a video earlier that somebody posted about a little alligator that was stalking a snowy egret, and then a bigger alligator that came out and like was trying to eat the littler alligator.
Yeah.
I was like, yep, that's Florida in a nutshell. And like I said, I've said this on a couple shows before, but I've actually seen when I was just like driving from Daytona to DeLand, I saw an alligator just running across the highway. And I was like, well, there he goes. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It happens. Actually, an alligator got run over on the road up to my elementary school when I was a kid. And he was just like flat there for a long time.
What's weird is that here in Florida, that they find homicide victims, the bodies of homicide victims. Because when I was working at Dr. Matt's manor, which is a huge fucking mansion that had its own private stable and chicken coop and all kinds of animals.
What's the matter?
What's up, Poop? No, you're not going in there. She wants to go in your closet.
Oh, she wants to go in the closet. There's nothing in there. I showed you earlier.
He had a turkey. and kept the turkey in the chicken coop, and the turkey died. And the chickens were still in there, pissed off that there was a dead turkey laying in the middle.
Well, you can't blame them.
So I went
They
in
don't
there
want
to
a
open
corpse.
the door to grab a damn dead turkey, and the fucking roosters attacked me. There were 2 roosters. They attacked me for grabbing the fucking... That was the fucking...
We don't want this
So I'm
dead turkey in here, but we
Yeah.
also don't want your arm in here.
Yeah. Leave him alone. Then the fucking roosters, I'm like, okay, all right. So then I had to chase all the fucking chickens out, let them go. And then I went there and I got the turkey. Okay. And he had a 4-wheeler that we used to maintain.
The turkey didn't have a 4-wheeler.
No. Dr. Matt had a 4-wheeler.
Matt had a 4-wheeler. So
Yeah.
Pronouns.
Yeah, he had a 4-wheeler and it had a fucking trailer in the back so you could run things around and spread mulch and shit. And I put the turkey in the fucking back of the 4-wheeler trailer and threw him out in the back. He had a little back fucking 40 type, back little lot. And I said, I'll come back later and get him after I get done letting the horses out. Feeding the horses, let him out. I come back and dispose of this fucking turkey body. And it's 6 o'clock in the morning. It's still early.
All right.
No, Poop.
listen to her.
She's asking, begging.
There's nothing in there, I promise. She thinks I'm hiding something in that closet.
Feed all the horses, give them all their medicine, make all the shit's gonna put them all out in there, all the pastures, everything's all fucking good. And go, okay, I'm gonna go back there and get the turkey.
Give it a Christian burial.
Get it a Christian burial. Respectful fucking demise on the damn turkey. Because I actually liked the turkey. Okay, I used to spray the turkey with the hose because it would get hot and it would fucking sit there and just bask in the damn water.
I kind of feel bad about eating them at Thanksgiving, though.
He was an old turkey.
That's okay. I mean,
He was an albino turkey. He was white. I'm sitting there, I'm spraying that
Really?
turkey. Yeah, and he loved it.
You never told me that.
And then the goat. Remember the goat?
Franklin?
The goat Franklin. Yeah, Franklin would watch me spray the turkey and then try to fucking bogart the fucking water. Stand in front and look, give me the water. And I'm like, no. And then they're fighting over it. It's fucking funny and shit.
Come on, I
So-
want the hose. Franklin was cool, by the way.
Yeah, Franklin was fucking hilarious. You couldn't keep Franklin under control. He'd do dances and shit, fucking try to push on you, and fucking, he wanted to play all the time.
He always wanted to. He always, well, because I kind
He'd
of feel
pull
like.
on you.
Well, people would bring him peppermint candies,
Yeah,
which
he
was
liked
his
those.
favorite thing.
Yeah.
And they would bring him in his pocket. So, like, whenever
Then
you
he'd come see me
showed
at the
up,
bar, yeah.
if I came up and
Yeah.
I had never brought him peppermint candies,
Yeah.
but he was like kind of the main thing he
No,
would.
Pooky, leave it alone. Oh,
my
shit,
God.
now she's tearing down the fucking...
What is
No.
she doing?
Did she push the painting?
She did.
Leave it alone, Pook.
She's acting up.
So we're talking about Franklin.
Yeah.
What would Franklin do now?
Well, I had never given him peppermint candy.
Yeah.
But when I got there and introduced myself to Franklin, the first thing he did was start chewing at my pockets, or where he
Yeah.
thought my pockets were, because he thought maybe I had peppermint candy in there.
Yeah.
So, like, later on, I brought some peppermint candy
Yeah.
for him. But, like, he thought that everybody, like, had peppermint candy in their pockets.
Goats are smarter than
And
dogs.
that was his favorite thing.
Goats are smarter than dogs. They're fucking hilarious. Anyway, I go back there to go get the fucking turkey and give the turkey a burial. And that turkey had only been out there for 45 minutes. And when I showed up, it was gone. Never did find the turkey.
Somebody turkey napped him.
Yeah. Animal
corpse.
got him.
Yeah.
Within 45 minutes.
Well, they were like, woo, a whole turkey.
A whole fucking turkey. And this was not in the country. This is large lots, like fucking 6 acres, 7 acres, with mansions on them. Low profile entrances to them. And they look like something out of the movies in that area. The guy that owns Ace Hardware, one of his mansions there. Dr. Matt, his mom made Orlando General Hospital. Okay, she was made with a donation. Came from a very powerful Jewish family. Had a whole bunch of money. They were powerful in the medical industry. And it was a beautiful house. It was like going to Disneyland. It was like a white Victorian plantation house, what it looked like, with its own barn and everything. And he'd go off and fucking go to Egypt and shit, and I'd take care of his house for him. Big fucking pools out in the back with fountains and stuff. It was like something you see out of the movies. And he had horses, so I'd take care of all his horses. And some of his friends' horses were there. I did that for how many years?
God, it was a while.
2 or
Well,
3
you were
years.
doing that when I met you.
Yeah, probably 2 or 3 years.
I met you in 2010?
Yeah.
2009, 2010. You were doing it then.
Yeah. Then what happened, I fucking won a lawsuit and fucking started getting all my retirement benefits and shit like that, so I didn't really have to work to do that anymore. You know what I mean? It was like, I could go back there and do it, but it wouldn't really be worth it, you know, to fucking, it's hard work at my age to do that shit now.
Well, that's what I'm saying. It's like, he paid okay, but it wasn't like enough to really make it worth it.
Nah.
Because, I don't know. You'd have to pay.
And it was a coming and going type of thing, depending on whether or not he was there.
That's what I'm saying.
Price would go up when he wasn't there. You know what I mean? Because I was providing security and better services because he could. Here's the thing about Dr. Matt. He had a lot of money. He was very educated. He was a fun guy. Big into science. He was a science nerd. Biotech nerd. But he worked. He was a fucking super hard worker. That dude was not lazy. And he'd come out and do yard work. He'd fucking he had all of his shit to mow his own fucking lawns, make mulch. He'd fucking deal with horses and everything. And he was running a hospital here, doing that at the same time. So he wasn't a doctor. He had doctors working for him. He'd run a whole hospital. So, but still, he wouldn't avoid work. He was a workaholic. He liked farm work. That was his fantasy.
But see, that's good. I mean, like, if you're going to... Because I kind of feel like there's a lot of sort of rich people that like the idea of that, but they don't actually want to do the shit involved with it.
Yeah, he would do it.
So at least he knew what it entailed and he was willing to do it himself rather than just being like, oh, I just like the idea of this. I'm going to hire other people and I'm just going to, like, watch them.
Yeah, no.
You know,
this guy's
scoop the poop out of, like, all the horse stalls and shit.
No, this guy's a multi-millionaire and he's fucking out there mowing his own lawn. Well, I wouldn't call... What? What?
What's the matter?
She's getting upset.
Why are you upset?
What?
What's the matter?
She's looking at something.
What's the matter?
Go ahead.
Is it a ghost?
What'd you see?
Is it a ghost?
You seen ghosts?
You can tell me. Uh-oh.
Oh, shit. What's going on?
What's the matter? She's never done this before. Do you not like the fan on?
She's going,
You don't like the fan? It's okay.
Fucking funny shit.
Oh, uh-oh.
What are you going to do?
Oh, shit.
What are you going to do up there?
Look at her butt.
Fucking funny.
What's the matter? Oh, my goodness.
Becca made it. What's up, Becca?
Look at... Yeah, everybody sees your butthole. That's cool, right?
You putting your ass in the camera? Yeah, you're putting your ass... It's kitty anal porn?
She is freaking out.
Go ahead. What are you seeing?
I'm telling you, she's seeing ghosts, man. What? What's the matter?
I don't see it. I don't see it.
It's ghosts, I'm telling you.
She's looking around like she sees something.
She's like, brr, brr.
What? I don't see it.
Thank you, Victor.
She's looking up there like she sees something.
I'm telling you, she sees dead people.
What is it? I don't see it.
What's the matter?
Huh?
Holy shit.
Okay.
She never gets this adamant about it.
What?
Thank you, Victor. He says Pooky with a little hard eyes.
That's for Pooky. I can't see it, Pooky. I don't know what you're seeing. Yeah? I don't see it. This is ridiculous. What?
She's never done this before. I mean, she does this every now and then. But never like...
I can't see it, Pook.
Is it it's dead people, right? It's ghosts.
She keeps looking at this and then that.
It's ghosts, isn't it?
I don't know. I can't help it. I don't know what it is. I can't see what you're seeing.
She's like, but daddy.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
It's getting late, actually. What? What do you want me to do about it? She's just looking at the fan.
Well, she doesn't like the fan for sure. I know that, but because I've taken pictures of her before and she's like, fuck this, turn it off.
Rebecca came in, she said, just right at the time, I've been shoveling horse shit all morning. Pooky's ass. The smallest butt I've seen all morning. I didn't know you worked in the industry. What's up, Pook?
What's the matter, baby girl?
What's up, Pook?
Oh my god.
I don't see it.
She's so upset.
You're trying to show me something, but I don't see it.
Is it it's ghosts, right? Is it? It's ghosts.
Yeah. What? Okay, I'm gonna go with you. Okay.
Find out what the situation is. Yeah?
What is it? You guys are witnessing this shit live, okay? I don't see it. She keeps looking up at the ceiling.
What is it?
What
Is it a demon?
Do you want me to take you up here?
Should we call the Warrens? Oh shit.
What about it?
What's the matter?
Is there something there?
Is it a demon?
What is it? She's looking at it.
I don't like. What is she looking at? Okay, now I'm freaking out a little bit.
What is it? Yeah?
Yeah. What's the matter?
I can't see it.
She's like, but Daddy.
Yeah? I can't see it.
We've had the fan on before. She wasn't this upset about
You
it.
see it?
She doesn't like it, but she wasn't this upset about it.
I can't see it. What is it? Is that it?
Is it just the fan? Are you upset about the fan, or do you see something else? Should we be
Maybe because
worried?
the fan is shaking?
Should we do an exorcism?
Fan shaking too much?
You don't
You
like
ready?
it? What's
Okay.
the matter?
What? Okay. I'm following you. I'm following you. What's
Picture
up?
says whip out the Ouija
Now
board.
she's not taking me anywhere. Yeah?
Yeah? What is it?
Where are we going?
Michael says, Russian Blue. She's actually, if you're asking about the breed, she's actually a Manx.
What?
Yeah.
What? She's keep calling me and she's taking me here. What? And then she's looking up. You want to go up there and look at it again?
Slash says ghost. Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
You see it?
What is it?
I don't see it.
I've never seen her do this before.
I'm not sure what it is.
Like, she does this sometimes, but not for this length of time and not to this degree.
She's looking at that damn fan.
What's the matter? What's the matter?
Okay. I can't help you, Pook. That's all I got.
Okay, she ran out.
Yeah. Okay. Seeing ghosts.
I tease her all the time because sometimes every now and then, like, she'll come in, she'll jump up on my desk, and then, like, she looks at
Look,
something.
she's on the floor looking at it again.
What is it?
Okay. I don't know if you guys can hear it, but she meows every time she answers. What's up? Okay.
Oh my goodness.
Okay.
Are you having some kind of, like, weird premonition or
I think
something?
She's fucking with me.
What's going on?
He's fucking with me.
Aw, poor baby. Anthony says, Jeff Mayer says sometimes regarding NDE Petsy ghosts. Well, see, I tease her about that all the time. Like, because every now and then she'll jump up on my desk, she's just acting normal, and then all of a sudden she'll, like, go, and she'll, like, look over at something that I can't see, and she's, like, staring. And I'm like, are you seeing ghosts, Pooky? Are you seeing ghosts? You can tell me, it's okay, but it's like I've never seen her, like, act like that, though. Is it a demon? Yeah? Do we need to call Elizabeth Warren? Do we need to have an exorcism? Do we need to have an exorcism? I guess we do. She's never done this before either. Please don't step on the keyboard. Please don't. Yeah. Seriously? Oh my god, this is excellent. Excellent. This is excellent, Pooky. Whatever it is that you're doing. I don't really know what your deal is. I've never seen you do this before ever. Please don't. No. Okay, she knows what no means. No. Okay, get back on there. It's okay. It's okay. You can get back on there. See? See? You can get back on there. Yep, that's your butt. That's your butt. Okay. Mark says, when Sidetracks turns into a haunting. Apparently, I didn't expect that. Yeah? She just keeps staring up at the ceiling. Now she's, like, laying right there by her toys, and she just keeps going. Oh my god. Is the whole ceiling, like, awash with ghosts? We're in trouble, you guys. We're in trouble.
Okay, what she did, she's right there.
She jumped up again, and then she got up on here.
Yeah.
And was, like, going all, like...
Yeah. You're fucking with people. That's you're putting on the show. She's trolling.
I have never seen her do that before.
You know,
I've never seen her do that before.
She's blinking, being cute. You're trolling. I know you're trolling. She's trolling.
You trying to liven the show up, Poop?
Yeah, that's what she's doing.
Like pretending there's ghosts.
I know one thing though.
I kind of feel like it's a demonic entity, maybe.
Look at her eyes. Look at her eyes. She's doing, Pope.
What you doing? She's crazy.
Yeah,
she's crazy.
How about you? But I'm hungry. Want to get something to eat?
Sure.
Okay. Go ahead and shut it down. It's fucking almost 9 o'clock anyway.
Is it? We're almost to 3 hours.
Yeah.
I can't believe that Pooky did that stuff.
Yeah.
I feel like that's so funny.
Well, you guys got a Pooky show, and it's kind of like that a lot. She just doesn't normally perform on camera. She does fucking funny shit. She's hilarious.
Yeah, she usually does funny shit, but when I try to record her, she stops doing the funny shit.
Oh no. Yep, camera's on me.
And then she's like, and then she just tries to like eat the camera or whatever.
Yeah.
So that's why I don't have that many cool videos of her doing cool shit. Because as soon as I start taping her, she's like, yeah, I'm not going to do the cool shit anymore. So that was the first time I've ever seen her do anything like that.
She has no idea that she's a cat. She thinks she's a human being, and she tries to do a lot of the same shit that we do. That's another thing.
Well, yeah.
If I start packing or unpacking things, she'll go into something. Like, I'm helping packing too. She tries to help me pack. Like,
well,
you know what I mean? Like,
she likes to help.
She's helping. She thinks it's helping, but it's not. You know what I mean? She's getting in the way.
I don't like to tell her that.
Yeah. What's up? What's up,
Every time I try to like wash the sheets and make the bed
whatever
and
you're
stuff
doing,
like
she's
that,
gonna try to do it.
She's just gonna jump into the middle and be like, I'm helping you make the bed.
Yeah.
I'm like, you're not, but okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
You're not.
Okay, shut it down, Jen. I'll make us something to eat.
All right. You all right now, Pope?
Yeah, see her eyes? You look like you saw some ghost. Look like you saw a ghost.
Is it ghost? Seriously?
Is it ghost? No, okay. Yeah, she blinked.
She's like, yeah, I'm pretty sure it's ghost. Holy shit. Hopefully they don't kill us in the night. No. The Warrens are dead. We can't do it. We'll have to summon them through the Ouija board to have them come help us. All right. Rebecca says, I'll listen to this completely tomorrow. I'm catching up on the Zodiac Revisited today. Yeah, that was a good show too. But yeah, we'll be back on Sunday talking about, I got a couple ideas for movies that we can do. So, but I don't know which one we're going to do, so we'll figure it out. So, thanks everybody for dropping by this evening, and thanks for super chats, and we'll see you guys again on Sunday evening. We're going to go get something to eat, and we'll see you guys then. Good night.